Welcome back, everyone, to LG Ultragear presents the Esports Club Season 4, powered by Crucial with our apparel partner 656. I'm CCV, joined alongside Universe for day number 1 of Season 4. Universe, you've already gone through the first match, the first best of 3 of Group A. Now it's time for BO3 number 2. If we have a look at today's matchups, today is a very interesting day because not only after heaps and heaps of team changes, player transfers, are we seeing these teams live in action. We are seeing them live in action for the very first time against each other. You've already seen, and we all have already seen, Valor up against FS Esports, where Team Valor ended up taking the win. A very close, nail-biting best-of-3 win going into the final map of Split. Valor took the dub, and now looking at the next match, what are your thoughts?
This is going to be the explosive one today. We always have blockbusters of matches coming up, and this is one of them. Team T69 making their comeback is going to garner a lot of, is going to garner a lot of support from the fans, of course, because we know how people, they love the side of Team T69, and True Rippers
Yeah.
as well is a really fan favorite team who've grown in the last 1 year, 1.5 year of Valorant being here in our region. And these two teams are, entertainment teams. They are explosive. They play aggressively. So it's going to be an interesting one.
Absolutely. Yesterday in the draft as well, when the teams were being drafted, when the groups were being made, having a look at the groups as well. Speaking of the groups, let's have a look at the group standings. And right now, Group A, well, we only have seen a single matchup so far, and Team Valor have taken the win. So they have 2 points, but because FS Esports, they won that single map, it means that they still have the point. So they're still doing all right for themselves. Yes, it's a loss, but they get a point. And now we are going to be seeing our second matchup of the day. Even that is going to be played by teams within the A group. And it's going to be T69 up against True Rippers, as we mentioned. Group B as well hasn't seen any action so far, but will very soon be seeing plenty of teams participating will be there, and a lot can happen in Group B as well. And that's the thing, Group A is just filled with these teams who are on the brink of reaching tier 1 in this entire South Asian region of Valorant. This was being said in the draft yesterday as well. All of these teams, they're just at the upper echelons of tier 2, and they would like to make a name for themselves in tier 1 and secure a spot, get the fame, recognition from all of the audience members and the audience in general, the viewers, of being known as a tier 1 team. And for that very reason, I am really, really excited to see Group A, because Group A is going to be excellent, and the teams participating are going to be excellent as well. Speaking of the teams, looking after the transfers as well, let's have a look at the teams as well one by one. Let's go through these teams and the players which they have. Right now we have True Rippers, they've got Crosshair, you've got Paradox, obviously One Tap God, Relic, and just everyone on this side. Not a lot has changed. We still have the star players, and we still have the core roster intact for these lads.
Yeah, indeed. True Rippers have been a team that's stuck together since the beginning of their, time. They have not given up anything at all. They've not replaced anybody. They've just added one player, and that was Bones, who also has been a long-term standing player for True Rippers. And this is a team that has grown so much in the last 1 year. And they've done so much. It's amazing to see how these young players have grown to become, almost tier 1, I'd say tier 1.5 players who are, to be honest, really great. So
Yeah.
every single one of them has individual potential. Together as a team, they perform. They've beaten some of the biggest names. So yeah, it's it's a great team, and to see them come back to the TC Gauntlet is honestly really nice. I love that these guys are sticking together and nobody's making a change on their team, and that's how chemistry is built.
Absolutely. And that's how good results can be built as well. True Rippers as a squad have been on the up and up. If we have a look at season 3 as well of the Gauntlet, they secured the spot in the playoffs. They played it, good runs. Even in other tournaments hosted by the Esports Club, they've had good journeys. Like you just mentioned, Universe, they have beaten some of the top tier teams as well. And now they certainly are one of the favorites. I wouldn't say like favorites to win the tournament entirely. No team right now is like the favorites, but they are in the favorites to be in the playoffs and to reach quite a high stage down the road in the tournament as well, not just the group stages. No, the playoffs as well. True Rippers can absolutely make sure to secure a spot for themselves. But their opponents, on the other hand, Team T69, well, this is a roster that has made changes. You have seen players leaving the squad earlier when they were known as SCTL as well. Now with the rebrand, with the new players coming in, looking at this roster, now this is pretty interesting. You've got Trist, you've got Wonder, Binks is still going to be there. You've got Ezzy, you've got Strix, Badman has left the team. We have Trist coming in. We have Wonder in as well. So it is pretty exciting to see Team T69. And the thing is, well, they haven't had too much time together with this very new roster. It's only been a couple of days. So heading into Gauntlet head first, having one of the initial few matches on stream in a broadcasted setting in front of a major audience, that puts a lot of pressure on these players. And individually, we know these players can handle a lot of pressure. They've played in front of thousands of people multiple times, won, lost, everything. But as this roster, they are playing for the very first time. So can this roster handle the pressure, or are they going to take a bit more time to reach the stage that we knew Team T69 as before?
Yeah, I think that the side of Team T69 have a potential of being consistent, but sometimes they just have these drops in their form that has come against at times True Rippers itself. They have lost to True Rippers in the past, as I said, you all, and even previously T69 when they were back in
Yeah.
season 2. So considering how these players are, the way that they play, the way that Binks leads the team, it is going to be interesting to see whether or not this time they can qualify for the playoffs, because last time they didn't, as I said, you all, and that was kind of a bummer. So this time there are going to be a lot more changes, as we can see. We have Wonder and Trist put into this squad. We've got Strix and Easy still sticking around here. So I really hope that the side of Team T69 really step it up this season, and they have what it takes to make it to the top 4.
Absolutely. I'd love to see Team T69 as well perform a lot. And, even right now, the maps that they'll be playing against Rippers, that can also give us a great indication as to how exactly they can perform, or considering their previous histories. But here's the thing, Universe. I really don't want to use the previous histories or the previous results of these teams, be it in Season 3, any other tournament. Okay, for True Rippers, sure, I'd be willing. But
Mhm.
T69, yeah, that the thing is that because of this very roster change, you aren't really sure what to expect now. You aren't really sure what we can see on the maps, or is it going to be the same? Are the
Mhm.
maps that they used to dominate on before, or their weak maps, are they going to remain like that, or is there going to be a shuffle? To some extent, there has to be a shuffle. When you have new players coming in and old players leaving your roster, there has got to be a change. So right now we
Indeed.
can talk about the maps, but let's have them in front of our screens as well, and let's talk about the 3 maps that we will be seeing. And it's a pretty good enough. I mean, yeah, Haven's there. Quite obviously, Team T69, they have chosen the map of Haven. True Rippers have gone for Ascent. And again, that makes sense. We may expect True Rippers. I mean, Paradox obviously will be on the jet. But other than that, are they going to be preferring a double duelist, or are they going to play the meta and play like double initiator? That's the one main question surrounding the map of Ascent. And then we can top everything off with Breeze. Honestly, Breeze is a great map for to decide stuff. Breeze is just the epitome of deciders. You can have BO5s end with Breeze, BO3s, and everything. It's just a lovely way to end the day, if the day does go to 3.
Well, I'm a little bit concerned about this map pool because I think this kind of favors True Rippers a little bit more. I've seen them play on Haven. They've chosen Haven multiple times, and they're pretty comfortable with that map. Ascent is something that's ground zero for both of these teams, but I would say that True Rippers, with the way that they play, their aggressive playstyle comes into a
Uh-huh.
lot of different opportunities through Paradox, especially when they play on Ascent. So I would expect the side of True Rippers to have a little bit of a dominant play in both these maps. But if Team T69 are going to be living up to what we know them to be, then it's just going to take them a little bit time to settle in. I think that True Rippers are going to take the early lead. Even if they don't, that's okay. I think that True Rippers are going to be giving them a lot more of a competition. But it's all just about the on and off days, because Troopers have got off days where they've been beaten by teams 13-3, 13-4 themselves. So it's all about how their form currently is running, how they are going to be feeling today, and whether or not Team T69 have got a game plan in store for Haven.
That is true. I mean, everything depends on Team T69 right now. And yet again, I know we have talked about it multiple times, but yeah, the roster is going to play the biggest factor by far, especially considering it's the first match. That's the major reason. The second match, sure, it's going to be a lesser and lesser factor later down the road. But for now, it's a hot topic. Everyone has to talk about it, and everyone should talk about it because, well, there have been multiple changes. So that's why seeing Team T69 on Haven, in my eyes, it can be a shaky start. Not only did you mention the map veto, but with everything that's been surrounding, with that's been happening, I'd say that Team T69 are going to have a rather difficult time in this BO3. But regardless, the players individually as well, they have weathered bigger storms than this, than what they're about to face right now. So they have the experience. Quite obviously, they do have the experience. It's just a matter of, can they do it right now? Can they prevail nonetheless against True Rippers today? Later down the road, we can surely expect Teams T69 to performing at their old level, at how we all know T69 and before they rebranded and stuff. So exactly for that reason is why I think right now True Rippers are going to be having a little bit of an easier time. I have to agree with the universe, but I don't think T69 are going to go down without a fight. I think Breeze will be seen at the very least from us, and that is where my prediction is going to be that True Rippers take the win 2-1 via decider map. Yeah.
I probably would say the same too. I think that this is a map pool that Troopers are going to be a lot more comfortable with. Ascent is something that I would say that Team T69. I'm not gonna say that they're bad, but I would say that True Rippers are more convincing on Ascent
Absolutely.
than Team T69, because I think the strongest map for Team T69 is Bind, because we know how
Hmm.
good Binks is on Bind. He alone with that raise causes a lot of trouble. Breeze is something that I've seen them try to actively avoid, but now that it's come into the pool, I would still say that True Rippers, because of Paradox, that X factor that he brings in, they're going to have an upper hand on Breeze. But if there was a bind here, I would for sure say that Team T69 had an upper hand, but this looks like a True Rippers map pool to me. Team T69, they can win this, but they're going to have to put in a lot of effort.
That is absolutely true. We have seen like T69 win on Breeze as well earlier. But again, I mean, I'm talking quite recently, as recent as season 3 against one of the other teams that were in their group in the regular season. But still, everything being said and done, True Rippers may have the upper hand right now. And looking at the agent selection screen as well, also gray area. You're not really sure what to expect now. You're not really sure who whom is going to pick which agent, what composition is going to be there. There are several questions up in the air that have yet to be decided from the members and that have yet to be answered from the members as well. So all we can do is wait until we can go in the game, and that's a question that's going to be surrounding every single one of the maps. Okay, maybe not Ascent, but other than that, Haven and the side of Breeze as well, you have to ask the question, what comps are we going to be seeing? Are we going to see something like Astra Viper? Probably not on Ascent, perhaps on the map of, sorry, probably not on Haven, perhaps on Ascent. Are we going to be seeing double initiator? Now, that is a composition that, in my mind, we can be seeing multiple times today by either one of these teams. Haven, Ascent, Breeze, if you play it like if you play it logically, logistically, you can probably win with like double initiator, Sova Sky, perhaps even a breach on Haven on these maps. And that is the exact reason why I think double initiator may be having the majority of the market share in terms of the comps that these teams will be going for. But other than that, are we going to be seeing wacky picks, interesting comps? Perhaps is the word to describe it.
Yeah, I think that the way that these two teams play around each other is explosiveness. Number one, Paradox is the X factor, like I said, for his team. He's the one who's not afraid of taking aggressive fights, and he's gonna be the one person that Team T69 need to handle because
Mhm.
if Paradox is not put to sleep, then he's gonna be causing riots across the place, and handling him is gonna be a problem because he's not just good with the operator, he's good with his knives. He lurks around. He's got a wide map. He's even he plays a jet. He plays a killjoy if need be. Um, he's got a great sense of aim and gameplay and map control as well. So Paradox is probably going to be the one person the side of Team T69 need to consider that they need to stop. Whereas for True Rippers, what they have to do for Team T69, I believe, is hold the ground. Don't overcommit because I think that Team
Right.
T69 at times can play passive, but True Rippers, they're gonna always be this, I want to say exquisite team where there's some part of the map they're always aggressive on. There's always some part. Whereas Team T69, there are points where they are really passive, especially on the attack. I've seen them. If Binks is not going to be initiating an attack by himself, if he's playing a duelist, then the team takes it a little slow, and that could be the demise of True Rippers. So they need to be a little careful about how they want to see Team T69 approach, because if they let them come in too close, that's better because Team T69 will probably end up committing a mistake in their movement in. And keeping off angles is only going to help them. So this is more of a individual stoppage force against a team stoppage force. So, it's kind of how they approach Paradox to be stopped and how the slow approaches of Team T69 are stopped.
That is absolutely true. Yeah, on attack especially, True Rippers have got to make sure information is going to play a vital role, and that information is only going to increase with the more amount of initiators you guys are bringing on the table. Which brings us to our previous topic of the compositions, which brings us to, like, there is going to be a lot of info roaming around. We can see trailblazers, we can see recon bolts, we can see owl drones, anything and everything of that sort, trying to gain active sources of information as to the whereabouts of your opponents. Once you gain that, then you can start executing flanking if you're on defense or whatever you want to do with that info. So for that very reason, yeah, stopping the attack can be vital if you have the necessary resources alongside the necessary amount of information you need to stop the attack. If you don't know where the attack is happening, what are you going to stop? You can be caught off guard almost any second. So you've got to be aware of that, and you have to play it very smartly. You have to be aware of your surroundings, and this is going to be applied to all three of the maps. On Ascend, it can be reduced a bit because almost everyone knows Ascend. It's not a big map, but on Haven and Breeze, looking at how wide the maps are in terms of the square area they have in them, they encompass with them, you have to be aware of any potential lurks or anything of that sort, or any surprise executions as well. So for that very reason, info is going to play a big factor, and this just really reinforces our point of having double initiator compositions, having a Sova and a Sky being brought out on Haven, Ascent, and Breeze, is that it's going to help you gather all information you need and then play on the basis of that, and all of your sentinels can help out, whether you have a killjoy, perhaps a chamber, maybe, hopefully, and on Haven we may see a cipher too being brought out.
Yeah, I think that we just saw it in the previous series as well that there was a Sky and Sova against a Breach and Sova. I think a Breach
Hmm.
is a Sky is more of a support in terms of information and flash, just information, because both of them have flashes, Breach and Sky. But I think that Sky is more information based initiator, whereas Breach is a map control based initiator because he can stop pushes. He can stop people from even entering into a site. He's got utility that allows him to damage a lot of other utility like the Killjoy's ultimate, the Killjoy's turret, basically anything
Hmm.
that comes under the aftershock. And on top of that,
Yeah,
he's got an earthquake causing metal arm as well. So Breach and Sky are two polar opposites in terms of how they play. The only thing that's common between them is a flash, and
the
even the colors
flash.
of those flashes are different. So I honestly think that I prefer a Breach just because of the fact that it gives you a little bit more, you know, control in terms of how you want to play by yourself. You can set yourself up. But with the Sky, it's kind of more like you have to set up your teammates first, right? With the Breach,
That
you've
is
got
true.
somebody.
Yourself.
Yeah, yeah. So I think I prefer the Breach, and I'm gonna be excited to see if a Breach is gonna be used in this map or not. But yeah,
Hmm.
we have got both the teams up and ready finally. We were waiting for the players to lock and load into the lobby, but now that we've got everybody here, we're going to be starting off the match in a couple of minutes. And I want to just ask you, CCV, what do you
Yeah.
think? Do you think that we're going to see a double duelist or a double initiator? Because we've seen double duelists come out of Team T69 before.
That is true. Oh, if you're talking Team T69, I was going to play the safe side and go for like
True
True
Rippers,
Rippers and
yeah,
talk about the
they also play the
Hmm,
double
double
duelist. But
duelist.
I want to know what you think. Do you think it's better now because we've got, even if you want to try a different Sentinel, you even got a
Mhm.
chamber. So
I want to see. I mean, if we go to Breeze, I hope, I pray to God we see a chamber. Chamber on Breeze can be really very good. But talking about Haven, talking about the compositions, I would expect. I'm not gonna lie. I think a double initiator is going to be on the board from both of the teams. They don't want to take too many risks. I think they'll be looking to play the meta rather than play exactly what they're very comfortable with individually as players, which can be double duelist for the case of T69. So I'd say they're going to prefer for double initiator. I'd say they're going to play the meta, play somewhere around it, be safe, and do whatever they have practiced in their, like behind the scenes sessions that they've had for a couple of days. The scrims, the dry runs, the board reviews, whatever as this new roster they have tried. Try and replicate that, and perhaps it can lead to success against True Rippers, albeit not in an easy manner. I think everyone can agree it's going to be an extremely difficult fight for T69. Can they prevail? Perhaps, maybe. But for now, I'd say that yeah, double initiator can be the way to go. Only these players themselves can decide what they want to go for, what they have planned for as well. So yeah, hopefully we can jump into the game as soon as possible. But other than that, it's a very interesting topic you mentioned. I'd like to just hone on it a little more. The Breach versus Sky. The main
mhm.
thing I always talk about Breach is going to be his anti-entrenchment abilities, his aftershock, fault line, and the flash. Technically, even his Rolling Thunder is ultimate, albeit we don't see it often. But all three of those abilities are just anti-entrenchment abilities. What I mean by that is imagine you're in any map and there's a pesky little corner that you don't want to face check, and you know for a fact that some defender or an attacker or just an opponent with a judge is sitting there holding the angle,
Mhm.
and even if you show a pixel, you're going to get wiped off the server instantly. You can't face check it. So what do? You can use the aftershock, you can use the fault line, you can use the flash, you can use all three of those abilities to try and disorient the person. And Breeze is just a master of doing that. He has so much utility to help him with that. I'm not denying Sky can't do that as well, or Sova can't do that. All three of them can do that. All initiators incoherently can do that one way or another, but it's just the sheer threshold with which Breeze can do it. Breeze has flashes, fault lines, aftershocks. Meanwhile, Sky, she only has two flashes and one trailblazer. She can't
Yeah.
use her heal to do that. Sova, okay, maybe he can use his owl drone, but like it's just going to give info, nothing else. He just has a shock
I think
dots
Sova is like the perfect combination of damage and
info.
information. Yeah, because
Mhm.
he's like the middle ground between Breach and Sky, and I think that's exactly why for me he is the best agent in the game. So I would love to see Sova being. If I want to see how people will react if Sova ever got nerfed, right? How, even if they
Mhm.
did nerf, how would they nerf him? Like his ultimate maybe it takes 3 hits instead of 2 to kill a person, or something of that sort. However it works, right? But Sova, I think, is for me the most balanced agent, and that's exactly why he's picked on every map except Split. Even on Split, sometimes people do choose him. I've seen Hunter from Valor choose him, and he's been able to pull off plays on the Split with the Sova. So
Mhm.
yeah, there's a lot of play that works with the Sova on every single map. But yeah, we have a small little technical pause here, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, we have a player that's not being able to connect to the game. So we're going to be going into the game really soon. We're apologizing for the delay, but as soon as the tech issues have been sorted, we will be jumping into the game. But do go ahead and tell us, what do you think about this match? Who do you think is going to win? And CCV and I are just going to be, thinking about
Yeah.
how exactly the breach can destroy the sky, or the sky can outrun the breach. But I do want to get your
Mhm.
thoughts about something, Steve. What do you think about the new Asian Neon?
Neon. Okay, that's interesting. I haven't look for Neon. I haven't seen a lot of Neon. The only thing I've done is heard the song "Entertain Me" like on loop 25 times probably, and then listen to her Spotify playlist because that's a really good one. So apart from everything related to the game, I know everything about Neon. But in game, I'd say it's pretty interesting. Especially, I believe that's her ultimate, which is going to be just the tracking ability. I think many FPS shooters in this day and age don't feature a lot of pure tracking, like just pure moving and tracking. Old games used to do that. Something like Quake really has them, but modern day FPS shooters, they don't feature that a lot. Especially, yeah, FPS shooters, whichever ones we all play, they don't have a lot of tracking. So having that ability, even though it's an alt, it's a really good form of a new way of aiming, because I don't think a lot of people who play FPS games are that much into tracking and just tracking moving targets and stuff. They know about flicking, they know about recoil control, crosshair placement, but tracking can be classified as a weak point. Personally, for me, whenever I go into like aim training of games and stuff, and whenever I try all that, I know tracking is a weak point for me. So having Neon by my side and playing Neon is going to be extremely well for improving that, when honestly I can just play one of those improving games and I could improve my aim. But then again, you don't really need aim for FPS shooters. All you need to do is just install lock Reyna and just absolutely thrash everyone in the server. That is CCV's professional advice. If anyone wants coaching lessons, I'll be on Fiverr. But again, jokes aside, I am interested for Neon. It's I For me, honestly, it's way too early to call. I would much rather learn your thoughts, universe, than speak about it myself.
I think she's gonna be my favorite goat. I'm gonna be a Neon main for sure. I think
Hmm.
the run and gun is what attracts me the most, right? So,
That is exactly. That's a very
the
interesting
speed
new
is what
aspect.
the speed is what attracts me. And she's got a really unique skill set. She's got a stun grenade. She's got two walls to put up like Phoenix. She runs as fast as anybody else. And on top of that, she's probably got the craziest ultimate that I've seen. So yeah, she's gonna be in pro play pretty soon, I believe. Let's see whether she replaces the Jet, because Jet is the speed agent, by the way. And
Mhm.
Neon being introduced could be a point of contention. But hey, we've got everybody ready. We are ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, because of the tech issues that we had to delay it for a bit. But yeah, it's kind of taking a little bit more time. We will be back with the TC Gauntlet Season 4. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back as soon as everything is sorted, and we're going to bring you the match in a couple of minutes.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Esports Club Season 4 of the Gauntlet, powered by Crucial with our apparel partner 646 and Ultragear to support us. I'm CCV, joined alongside Universe. And Universe, we have talked a lot about the game in front of us, but it's because we have had so much to talk about it. I mean, True Rippers up against Team T69 with everything that has happened in this off-season so far, with everything that is yet to come in front of us, in the Gauntlet. I mean, there's just so much to discuss. There are so many things we have to look forward to. One of them, well, the major one of them being this very BO3 and map number 1.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be one for the books. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
we're gonna see a lot of explosive plays. We're probably gonna see a couple of whiffs as well, coming in from both the teams. But to be honest, I'm actually more excited to cast Ascent than Haven, and I think this is the first time
Yes.
that anybody's probably gonna say this because I'll be
Oh, no,
honest,
no, no. Trust me.
I've missed Ascent. I know I give a lot of curses to Ascent, it making unnecessarily too many appearances in every single series, but now I want to see Ascent come in, and let's see how that all ends up because True Rippers, they have chosen this map and they're going to be playing on the attack on the second one, but on Haven, they are going to be first on defense. So given their side, what do you think the first half prediction is going to be? How do you see this happening?
Um, it's a bit difficult to call because, okay, now we are diverting away from just what the agents these players will be choosing. We are diverting away from compositions. Now we're just going into team communication. And I mean, no one can deny that right now, True Rippers, their communication has to be far stronger than that of Team T69
Hmm.
because as a roster, they have stuck together for plenty long time compared to T69, who have completed their roster changes a couple of days ago. So now that we're going into communication territory, even though we can't hear the player comms, we all have a good sense that True Rippers have the upper hand right now. And I think in these minute details, when a lot of executions are happening, when a lot of action is happening, be it any map, Haven, Ascent, Breeze, be it any bomb site, whatever the agents, no one cares. Whatever is happening, if there's a lot happening, that's why I think True Rippers have a far more, or should have a far more streamlined way of communicating with all 5 of the members in their roster than what T69 may have conjured up in these past couple of days right now. T69, they still, I mean, surely must have to improve on that because of the new roster. So that's exactly why I would say that True Rippers, yeah, no matter the side that they are on, attack, defense, no matter the map, I can see them like having like a 7-5-8-4 kind of score line for the majority of this BO3. There are going to be times where T69 can overturn that. Surely there are going to be. But for the most part, it's going to be True Rippers holding the majority.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be a little bit of a I don't see a landslide play coming in. I think that it is going to be a little bit close, maybe 7-5, 6-6. I don't see this going any further unless one team suddenly has an upper form and they just move straight up to the upper echelon of Valorant gameplay, and they're like, oh my god, what a form of the revelationary form this has been. and it's honestly a little bit interesting because
Mhm.
every time you see a team go in like that and they get this 9-3 or 10-2 scoreline, it's at that point you'd expect them to win, but it's actually a 50-50 thing because that's when the other team starts getting back at you. That's when everything that you think is going right on the second half just turns around and it splits straight off of your hands, and the other team's like,
Exactly.
oh no, we were just playing along all this while, and now we've got everything ready to hit you right back. So
Mhm.
yeah, now we've sort of finished up all of the tech issues over here. We are getting the players in the lobby, and that's exactly why we're going to be starting off the match in just a couple of seconds. The maps are ready, and we are going to be seeing. I know it's been a little bit of a while, ladies and gentlemen, but thank you for keeping the patience with us, and we are going to not disappoint you when this match comes up, because the minute this game starts, trust me, entertainment is going to be written all over this stream, because both these teams are dynamic teams. They are explosive teams. They're entertainment based teams, and they do a great job at keeping not just themselves but also their viewers and fans happy.
Absolutely, and there are going to be multiple fans for these teams, supporting them, cheering them on. True Rippers, they have built this legions for the past couple of times, and right now it's going to be like for the side of well, it's going to be for the side of Team T69 as well. A lot of fans that have stuck to. With them and like stuck through all of the changes that have happened ever since they were T69, then SATUL and everything. The loyal fans, hopefully they are still tuned in, because I think they should be. I mean, come on. A team after roster changes is back. They are in form. With all that's been said and done, we are going to be seeing them this time. It's going to be pretty darn interesting seeing what exactly will be happening. So I'd say that it's going to be like, it's going to be pretty interesting factor, keeping in mind, looking at these teams perform. Because other than that, yeah, Haven, it's gonna be anything. Haven is the one place where so much can be decided, and Haven is the one place where we are going to see essentially the benchmark of both of these teams, kind of like what we saw in the previous BO3 as well. Haven is going to be the thing, and being map number one, it's going to be the factor that determines essentially where these teams stand against each other and how we can expect them to perform overall in the season in a sort of a way.
Yeah. I do want to ask you though, now that we've seen these roster changes come in for both of these teams, right? The one thing that we have not seen yet, what we've not talked about yet, is who do you think is actually going to be the X factor on the side of Team T69? Because they were S8UO and they had a pretty great lineup, but it didn't work out. They weren't able to create the success that we would have expected of them, and now coming back to T69, which, by the way, was a team that's basically been shifting names across 3 seasons. Now they are here, and Wonder has joined them. Trist has joined them. Who do you think among them is actually going to be making an impact?
I'd say both of them. Looking at Trist as well, who joined them from Reckoning Esports, Wonder as well, coming in from ROG Academy. Both of them are going to be in interesting scenarios, essentially, to like make a name for them, make a name for themselves. It's an interesting topic how exactly you can define that, because joining Team T69, well, in a way, that's already kind of making a name for yourself. But right now, we are going to be seeing these players alive itself. So let's jump into the game. Haven is right here in front of our screens. We are going to be seeing True Rippers. They have already, I mean, they are looking to opt for an interesting composition. We're going to be seeing, well, nothing has been confirmed except for Wonder picking up the Sova. Interesting, interesting. Tris, the other new joinee of this team, has his eyes on the Killjoy right now. And other than that, double duelist can be seen on the board for T69. So they're not going to go for double initiator, but rather on Haven, we can expect that. And I think if you're seeing this on Haven, we might as well expect it on any other of the maps. But as for True Rippers, yeah, it's still up for debate what they're going to go for, since Paradox Master, well, they've gone for their default agent selections.
Yeah, I think that this is pretty much what we expected. The only difference, like we said, was Breach and Sky maybe coming in, but it looks like the double duelist could be here. Binks is looking to go for the raise, and we've got Strix on his usual, the Jet. Paradox has already locked it in. Relic will take care of the controller duties as Master of Crosshair
Choose your
are going to be
agent.
locking in their Sentinel and Initiator respectively. Now, this is going to be interesting. I would love to see how exactly this counters either team because there's a difference of the entire type of agent itself. Now,
Uh-huh.
if you consider how Breach works, he's got a little bit of similar, kind of explosivity as Raze because number one, his aftershock is damaging, kind of like the grenade. It's not exactly, as uh, mobile as a grenade, but it can be shot across walls and it's got a huge range, right? So apart
Yes.
from that, the Raze is a self-sufficient agent, whereas Breach can be self-sufficient and team playing as well. So this is an interesting matchup. I love this lineup change from the side of both these teams, to be honest. And
Mhm.
Double Duelist has come in like we spoke, only for Team T69, not for True Rippers.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Jumping into the game as well. I think even though there's only a difference of a single agent, like you mentioned, Universe, Breach versus Raze, I think the consequences and the playstyles are going to wildly differ for both of these teams. It's going to be extremely different looking at how they're going to be performing. Because True Rippers, with this, a double initiator, they can put a lot more on Paradox to perform, and he can have the assistance of Sova and Breach in order to initiate whatever he wants to. On the attack, he can dive into the bomb site with the support of the initiators, get those entry kills, and plant the spike with the help of his teammates. On defense, he can be the aggressive jet as well. But for T69, they don't have the luxury of having two initiators. They only have Wonder to help them with his Owl Drone and his Recon Bolt gathering information. So it's going to be more about face checking, and it's going to be more about clearing your angles and landing your shots for the side of Binks and Strix in order to help them secure rounds.
Yep. We have considered what exactly both these teams are going to be doing, and we've done a lot of speculation. And unfortunately, Paradox has disconnected. We will be waiting for him to come back. A small little tech issue, as the one thing that we look forward to is a duel between Strix and Paradox, the Jet Diff, which by the way came in a lot of times in the previous games. CCV, it was JN and Cactus going back and forth and back and forth. I wouldn't really say there was a real Jet Diff that came in because I think both of them killed each other almost equally. There was one player with the operator who got destroyed by the knives, and then it was the other player with the operator who destroyed the guy with the knives. So
Uh-huh. I do
it just
remember that on Haven. Yeah,
yeah.
there was the knife versus knife on A shot. I do remember that one round. That was pretty interesting. But now as well, I mean, obviously in every single match of the Gauntlet, you have to highlight the two Jets. You have to highlight how they'll be playing, facing off against each other, irrespective of who the two Jets are, irrespective of the teams they are playing for, they have played for. All of that being said, and no, it's just Jet versus Jet. That's it. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to care about. Because as long as you focus on those two players and have an eye on the kill feed, you are going to be seeing that face pop up many, many, many times. Not just in terms of killing people, but sometimes getting killed as well. Because Jet, it's not a role which gives you a lot of time, or it's not a role with which you can really stay alive. You have to be on the forefront of everything. Is your team executing? You have to be the first person to head into the bomb site. If your team's defending, you can at times, or you have to be at times, the first line of defense, either with the operator or with your blade storm or with whichever weaponry you have in your hands. You have to be that initial line of defense, and then come the sentinels, the controllers, with more of their utility rather than just their guns. As right now we are going to be seeing all of these teams, the sentinels there. We've got Killjoy, we've got the initiators, controllers, everything is ready. We are just waiting for these players to ready up entirely, and then we can start off, round number one, essentially. And I'm really excited for it. After this long of a wait, this match, I don't think it's going to disappoint either way. Whether it be a long wait or not, technical issues or not, this match is still going to deliver all of the promises that have been leading up to BO3 number 2 of day one.
Yeah, that is true. I do have a weird question though. Now, we have Killjoy, Sage, Cypher, Chamber, and let's say, I think the Duelist is the only place where we've got about over 5 agents, right?
Yep.
Let's say if we have 5 Sentinels against 5 Duelists, who do you think would win?
who are the 5 players? Are they like the best 5 duelists in
Yeah,
South
let's
Asia
say
versus the
best
best 5
five.
sentinels?
Yeah, best five.
All
Yeah,
right.
keep it that way. Yeah.
So best 5 duelists. So it's going to be me probably, and then whoever these guys are who play in
Yeah,
Gauntlet.
it
I
doesn't
mean,
matter.
yeah,
It's
just
not
tier two
CC3.
players.
It's a 1v5,
Exactly.
dude.
I mean, all those YouTube videos like one Radiant up against 5 Irons. That's gonna be me. Except I'll be in the Irons. Never mind. Now, looking, it's a pretty interesting question, but it's a question that has so much circumstantial stuff and so much like weird things around it that I just can't answer based on 5 duelists versus 5 sentinels. You need to know the players, you need to know the synergy, everything surrounding them, and
It's
only
kind of like
then can I take
how
a
an
shot.
yeah, it's kind of like how an unstoppable force meets an immovable object.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
That's kind of how it is. But yeah, I've always wondered if we had an agent that could potentially do 2 roles together. Do you think we'll ever see that? Like an agent
Uh-huh.
that does both controller and initiator,
Technically.
or like you could switch between 2 roles.
Oh, okay.
Like
Oh, that's different. But technically, many a times this argument has been made that there are a lot of agents in Valorant who specialize not just, who have a primary role, but they have a secondary role as well. For example, if I take the example of, say, Sage, she is a sentinel by heart, right? She can heal people, but then again, she can also be classified as a secondary controller. Why? Because of a Sage wall and because of a slow orb, which can slow down the area, not allow attackers or defenders to push up, and just get map control for your team. So Sage can be a primary sentinel, secondary controller. If we take the example of what other example can I give? Well, I can say Raze. Raze can be an initiator and a primary duelist, secondary initiator, because those boombots and pain shells, they can also be used to clear out angles, especially if you think about the map of Bind. So
yeah,
many times we see the boombot clearing out hookah, clearing out showers, the pain shells doing the same thing as well. So, with all that being said and done, one can make the argument that technically a couple of the agents already have multiple roles. But what you're saying that they can primarily switch between two archetypes, it's a pretty interesting thought. But then again,
I
I'm not
mean,
the balance team of Riot, so I wouldn't really know.
fair enough, I guess. That's an extensive argument. So CCV
Mhm.
knows his stuff clearly.
Careful
That's why
here.
he's the real one.
Okay. Not a lot of times the real is the part that gets made fun of. It's usually CCV, but fair enough. That's a good one.
Well, we've waited long enough, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
The match is ready, and here we go. True Rippers against the side of Team T69 on your screens as we move in towards A, and they've already taken the Paradox at 34 HP. Dashes away to safety, but he's still gonna be a little low. And that's the end of his life in the first round. Wonder takes him down as Team T69 have spread themselves across the entire map. Not anywhere towards mid, though. And look at Cross. What? Wait.
Huh?
What?
I'm not really sure what just happened.
I just started laughing because of the way you said, huh?
I was sheer confusion was on my face right there. How he got that kill on the jet and then went back safely, and so was still, Wonder he didn't cancel his shock dot. He was still, his owl drone or his shock dot. But regardless, Wonder now is looking for revenge on his teammate. Both the jets are off the board with 50 seconds on the clock. Team T69, the spike is still towards the spawn of the attacker. So we are going to be seeing rotations happen very quickly from Astra and KJ, as it is going to be an A execute. However, True Rippers as of now are not aware of that. Sova is still the only person on A, and Crosshair with 50 HP, no armor, is in a pretty vulnerable state. He will lose his life to the other Sova. So we are going to be seeing the execute in full force now. The spike is going to be planted. True Rippers need to find a way of retaliation, but with all 3 of the members coming from the defender side at spawn, it's going to be difficult to hold this retake and to essentially execute a good retake against T69, who are in good positions. However, one tap god, he changes that pretty quickly. Wonder, he's going to be peeking, but it's going to be his teammate Binks getting 1 kill. And now True Rippers are entering from defender spawn. That's another kill for Binks. And Relic is stuck in a 1 versus 2. Well, it won't be paying off. Team T69, after the initial kill, after that very important kill onto Sova, they take round number 1.
Oh, we waited for this. We have waited for this. And now we've got an interesting, side of things over here. It's just that True Rippers, their pistol rounds are really, they're kind of reckless with it. and they don't really care about it that much. It looks like, because they kind of bank upon their buy rounds to make it happen for them. So they're not gonna have any problem whatsoever with them losing out the pistol, as the side of Team T69 will have an advantage early on. That recon from Crosshair was perfect, and he's gonna be able to note down these 3 players' positioning, but Biggs is gonna take him out pretty easy, and that's gonna give the A side opening for the side of Team T69. The grenade gonna push out one player. Binks? Why did you not finish off the kill onto one tap? What?
Sorry, I guess it was a case of when you have like too many people on your screen and you're just in the midst of spray transferring, or he thought the boom bot might have finished him off. I don't know what was going through his mind. Regardless, only a single casualty faced for T69 right now. That was Bings. Being the entry fragger, yeah, you are going to be in a heap of danger. And well, in this case, the danger did not pay off. For the side of True Rippers, it is the eco round. T69 have entire side control. That was a wide peak that was unnecessary from Trist, and the same can be said from Wonder. You didn't really need to peek that. But
Yeah.
T69, after losing 3 of their members, they do take the round. A little unnecessary, but a win regardless. And now we can move on to round number 3, where True Rippers are going to be the ones investing a heap of money into their own team. And they're going to be injecting a lot out of the economy that they had been building for the past 2 rounds. They have rifles, they have full armor, and now we can expect them to start retaliating and to finally put a round on board. Because if you lose this round, then T69 can start building a big a big ball of momentum, and then it's going to be pretty darn difficult to stop them. So exactly for that reason, True Rippers have got to reply back right now. But with this skill that Bings just got on Paradox, it's going to be a bit more difficult. Bings is looking for his second right now. He tags Crosshair, and now for Crosshair, there's no way for him to heal back. There's no heal on the side of True Rippers. But one tap god, he gets one, he gets a second as well onto Strix. Both the duelists in a matter of seconds have been knocked off the board by this one breach.
And now Wonder's being pushed back as well. He's right there towards the A main side of things, but One Tap God is not going to peek that just for the reason that he's 11 HP. Master, thanks to his opponent being vulnerable, he's able to finish off that clutch with 1 HP, but Trist? What are you doing? Why did he swing wide with this knife in his hands? What was that?
I guess he wasn't expecting anyone there right now. Master can pull off the best 1 HP clutches. It's not really going to be a clutch. It's just going to be an off-guard kill. And he does secure that. True Rippers, excellent round for them. And I have to say, I mean, all of the kills were pretty influential. But One Tap God getting rid of both Binks and Strix had to be the power move that game back on A-Long. Yeah, Paradox, right now, he's been having a bit of a quiet day. Doesn't have his ultimate. Will go for the Phantom still. And that's the thing. Nobody has their ultimates. It's round number 4. No ults on board. So the next round is when we can see and we can start to see those ults on board. So this round is going to be another potentially full buy for both of the teams, but without any ultimates, it can be a replication of the previous round where it's going to be all aim and a bit of your utility. Paradox now yet again getting aggressive. He has been spotted by the turret, but he does get a kill onto Binks. Can he fall back in the nick of time? Well, he goes for a second peek. That was unnecessary. One tap god as well. In the heat of things, he went for the peek, and everyone from True Rippers is just looking for kills, but it's never paying off, with the exception of Relic, who got a double. But now that leaves Crosshair all alone in this 1 versus 2.
But he's gonna avoid the recon and stay here until he can find his way onto the site. 2 versus 1. Crosshair. He's got good positioning. He could find 1 kill here. Oh no, he gets away with it. Crosshair whiffing a lot of shots there. He did put Strix down to 5 HP, but that does not confirm the round for him, as Team T69 have their number 3.
I'm not gonna lie, Universe, I really didn't understand what happened from True Rippers right there. Why did all of them converge onto mid? Like 3 people peeked mid. I get Paradox. That was an excellent kill onto Bings. Just fall back. There's no need to destroy the Killjoy turret. You got a kill on the top frag of your opponent team. Just fall back. He died. One tap god, I get it. He flashed through garage, but still even he peeked. Then there was another kill. I mean, like, True Rippers, cut back your losses and just fall back. There's no need to double down on this bet you're making. And right now as well, well, True Rippers, they can attempt to double down. They have got 2 members on A. It's going to be Paradox. Oh, it's going to be Paradox. He does secure the kill, but not without a bit of retaliation from both of the teams. As True Rippers, the economy isn't looking too good. But with 2 casualties that they have given to Team T69, it's still a decent enough round, even if the last 2 members die as well and they lose the round.
Got another situation where it's a 3v2. It's always been these close rounds here. Given that One Tap God is only holding a Sheriff with half armor, probably going to be not that great of a round. Oh, he will pick up a Phantom, and he's got the positioning advantage. One Tap God listens to all of these sound cues, and he's going to translate that to Master, as he might as well find 2 kills here. Wonder will come back for the timing, takes him down. 2v2, ultimate Bell Bomb, throws it straight in, and now this is a round for One Tap God to finish off by himself. He does not go for it though. He waits for Master to come. There is an ultimate available on Trish, but he's gonna be stunned, taken down, and True Ripper's find number 2. What a retake.
Thrifty as well. I mean, One Tap God. I mean, what were we talking about, Universe? Breach versus Killjoy. I think we can make a pretty solid argument that in this case, Breach was just an excellent performer. And One Tap God, I mean, he really is shining brightly. I get, yeah, everyone was hyping up Paradox because, well, he's Paradox. But One Tap God right now, he may not have the most amount of kills. However, the influential frags he's got, we can still bring our memories back to the round where he got the 2k on A long on both Binks and Strix that allowed True Rippers to win that round. Then there was this with his Rolling Thunder, and now Team T69 realized that, okay, everyone on the opposing roster is deadly, we've got to be careful. And in this round, Team T69, it's not really a buy with which they can be proud of themselves, because we are seeing multiple Spectres, half armor, everything there. Meanwhile, True Rippers, they can yet again go for this converged strategy on pushing on towards mid. Paradox pushes up Sniper's Nest, and he gets an excellent kill onto Binks, and now everyone from T69 is looking to hunt him down. Now Paradox, can he stay alive? Can he weather this storm? As a matter of fact, his teammate has died. There has been a bit of retaliation from the side of Team T69, and they are pushing into B, but it's still not looking good with the amount of stuff that's happening on the B bomb side. True Rippers can easily take their time and then go for kills, but no, they're pushing right now. Paradox, he destroys the Killjoy lockdown, he gets another kill, goes back, and yet again, Team T69, they have an option. They could stay on B, but no, they'll be choosing to go on A, and it's going to be KJ versus KJ, Jet versus Jet. Oh, sorry, Jet versus Sova.
Well, they have the ultimate available on Master, and he's going to be dropping that. Go on, Master, but Trist is coming in close. He's going to find the kill, and it's all onto Wonder, but before I can even take his name, he's been wiped off of the server, and number 3 comes up for True Rippers.
It absolutely does. And True Rippers, yeah, a good round for them. I mean, it got a bit close, but thanks to Paradox and his triple kill, and the fact that he didn't even use his ultimate, that was even better. Getting all those kills does mean a lot, because now Team T69, even though they lost this round, the thing is, they can go for the full buy. And with them going for the full buy right now, it doesn't look like Team T69 can really afford a full buy. So yeah, the previous round was bad. I'm not gonna lie, this is a bit worse considering they just have upgraded pistols, half armor, no armor on a couple of the members, and a marshal to play with. Team T69 really did try and go all in the previous round, and even that backfired. So True Rippers, economically, they're doing excellent, and now by winning this round, they can be doing excellent for themselves in terms of the round count as well, thus by taking the lead for the first time in this entire map of Haven.
Oh, well, Paradox with that 2 kill pretty easily finds an advantage for his team. It is an eco, so you would expect True Rippers to win this, as now Strix left with that Marshall is going to be pulled down into the ground, and he's going to be giving up his life as a flawless round comes in as expected for True Rippers, and they have taken the lead 4-3. And now the side of True Rippers are looking really good in terms of both economy and weaponry, because everybody can buy in for the next 2 rounds even if they lose it.
And more so, they can force Team T69 back down onto another sort of a semi-buy in the next round if they kill the members of Team T69. For T69, the thing is, this round is a bit of make or break. use your ultimates wisely, but do use your ultimates to gain an advantage and try to win this round. Because if they lose this one, then I can see True Rippers gaining a majority at the end of this half. Something like a 7-5 can certainly be on board. This round does decide a lot because of the economy and because of how influential it is economically. So T69, what are they doing? They're slowly making their way up B. However, because of the owl drone, because of the information that has now been given away, the surprise element has been removed, and now Team T69, they just have to look for plain and simple kills, face checking stuff, spamming stuff, and even though Relic was being bombarded by bullets, he still got a kill onto Strix, so he's still got a trade down, and I don't think Relic will be sad with him dying. I think he'll be pretty happy with how this panned out, with him getting that headshot and getting so much information that multiple members of Team T69 are near garage. Everyone be careful, whoever is watching that area, because an execute is coming very, very soon. And well, if he does give that comm, he is going to be true, because an execute can happen almost any second from the side of the attack.
Right there.
That recon is going to clear up a lot of area, but they know that they're inside garage now, True Rippers. Binks crawling in towards B could be a problem, a menace to deal with, but it looks like they're actually going towards B. Oh, this is interesting. There's the fault line. There's the stunning. There's a flash. And he's trying to get away with one. And one tap god will find one. Binks with 2. He's got more. Make that 3.
One enemy remaining.
As number 4 comes up, and that was the most chaotic round so far.
Absolutely. I mean, we need to watch replays and replays and replays worth of this round to understand what exactly happened right then, to understand where all the players were converging from. But yeah, C-Link was a heavily contested area. True Rippers were holding that angle. It was great, a great effort from one tap god. He did get 1 kill, but then Binks just absolutely popped off. And the thing was, Team T69, they won the round without even using any of their ultimates. So now they can go into this round as well with their ults, and it's going to be another full buy versus full buy. Paradox in the meanwhile, oh, he dashes forward. He does get an amazing kill, but he dashes forward, thus putting himself in a major line of danger. That only means asking for trouble. That was a misclick, I presume, and that has resulted in his death. The operator going off. However, Sova's body also goes off down in the dirt alongside Strix's as well, and T69 are down to only 2 members. But they are reducing the man count to their opposition as well, as Ezzy and Binks get a quick little double.
Moving in towards A now, they expect it to be open, and their judgment is right. Both the players, Relic and Crosshair, are towards C and Garage, so they're playing on a retake on A, and that should be given away as soon as this plant goes down from Easy. But they're a little skeptical about this. And there it is. Plant goes down,
Spike planted.
and now they rotate. And Z throws in that immediate Cosmic Divide. A little questionable the way it's been placed, I would say. That gap could prove to be their own demeanor, but let's find out. Crosshair, he's still got his handy owl waiting, and he's gonna be able to spot out both of them. His ultimate, Binks, caught out in the open as he takes him out, and that's gonna be a retake. That is not gonna be successful. With the clutch comes in the Astra.
All right. So yeah, I mean, Team T69, that was a very, very necessary clutch. Looking at the replay as well, Binks, he went for the showstopper, but it didn't pan out. And then Ezzy moving away from the corner, far more wide into the crosses of Sova, and then his own crosshair placement was impeccable, thus allowing his team to win the round. And there's a reason why Ezzy is at the top of the table right now in terms of his team, and at the top of the scoreboard in terms of the kills as well. So great stuff, but still extremely close with how this half is panning out. We are going to be seeing Paradox, in this case the top fragger of True Rippers. We talked about Ezzy, the top fragger of T69 right now. Now it's the opposite spectrum, where it's going to be the Jet pushing through A-Long, getting a lot of information that there is no one on A-Long, but now he's going into territory where his life is going to be in certain danger, and he has to withstand this amount of pressure. So it's just going to be a matter of get information or try and get kills, as right now one tap god is trying his best to get kills, but he does flush out multiple members of Team T69 out of garage, That is excellent. Paradox, I think he has spotted the spike as well, and now he just falls back, and thus going back into the bomb side, he is luring the members of Team T69 to hunt for him, to come for him. Bings will go in the lure with 4 bullets. Bings will be pushing in, the fault line affects him, and Paradox with 1 HP goes back to safety. How is this man alive with the classic? Please don't tell me he gets a kill with the classic in 1 HP. As one tap god walk into the gravity well, he gets one, but that's all his team will be getting for now, as a spike has been planted.
This retake situation is probably unlikely. 3 versus 4, and that Killjoy ultimate is going to be taken down immediately. That's exactly why I said it's unlikely. Binks with beautiful kills over here. Jiggle, peek, and kill. That's all he needed, but he gets destroyed in return. So that's going to be one weapon that they drop. But True Rippers have pretty much lost this round, unless Relic. Flick of the wrist works for one, not for the other. Number 6 comes up for the side of Team T69, and them having this lead is going to be only demeaning to True Rippers because they are now potentially closing down Urine and Eco.
Absolutely, yeah. For the side, well, for both of the teams, it's still too close to call. But with the half coming to an end very, very soon, yeah, economy is going to matter a bit. Especially, I mean, if you're talking about eco rounds, yeah, obviously economy is going to matter. But other than that, a couple of ults still on board. The penultimate round of the first half, both the teams are going to be opting for a full buy. We just see a single half armor. Other than that, 10 rifles on board. So that is the case for all 10 of these players. Right now, this round does decide a lot. True Rippers, they can end the half 6-6, and I think they have it in them. But most likely, in my eyes, it's going to be a 7-5 favoring Team T69, which is going to be opposite to our prediction. But still, T69, especially Bings, I mean, everyone in T69, being honest, has given an insane performance so far, and it is going to get only better and better as time goes on. As right now, Bings has found himself in a corner. He peeks, he shoots, and he's still following through, and it's going to be Wonder who gets the opening kill onto Paradox. One tap god is looking to retake the B-bomb side, and he will by getting rid of Bings. But there are 4 other members he has to worry about, but he's not the only person alive. He's got his teammates. Master was good for one, but the shock dart takes him out, and the Killjoy lockdown will be forcing many of... Oh no, the lockdown has been destroyed. The defense can stay exactly where they are, and they can keep on getting kills, as that's exactly what Relic does.
Playing with fire here. Players on his left and right. And Twist has got good positioning. Pushes up suddenly. This round has been turned around. And the side of Team T69 are doing a great job. Here goes one tap god. He's probably gonna find an easy kill. Oh, be careful. And he finds it.
Oh my.
The clutch comes in at the most opportunistic moment. He could have been taken out. One tap god down to 2 HP. That is going to be a little bit of a heartbreaker for the side of Team T69. One extra bullet.
In the half.
Or half a bullet.
I mean, that's exactly, you know, the Rolling Thunder, it does that. It does stop your bullet spread, and it does stop the rate of fire imminently. And every single time we have seen the Rolling Thunder from one tap god, it has just given so much value. Both the rounds, both the times that we have seen, it's been in these post-round scenarios. And both of the times, in my eyes, it's because of the Rolling Thunder that True Rippers won those 2 rounds. So as of now, I mean, that is doing an excellent job. I am absolutely loving seeing one tap god play Breach, and hopefully we can see him in another one of the maps as well, potentially Ascent, although it may not be the case there. Regardless, right now, it's the case of the final round of the first half. The first half is now coming to an end. The side swap is going to happen very soon, but not before one of these teams can snatch another round. Paradox, he snatches away the life of Chris, and he is trying to dash away, but it's always in this retreat that he dies. And now it's going to be Strix with his own Blade Storm, who falls to the ground as True Rippers try and maintain side control, but not before Wonder can speak words of wisdom and can do a lot of actions by getting those 2 kills. And True Rippers versus T69, yet again, it has converged into a 2 versus 2 post-plant scenario.
Master, he knows that somebody's here towards the left.
Last player
Relic. He's looking for the smokes to be put down, but what he doesn't realize is that his teammate needed support. And now he's left in a 1v2, which he's already being put out of 11 HP. And that's the end of his tenure here. Easy with the 3K. He's going to be confirming round number 7, and he's also been taken down.
Huh. Oh, sorry. I thought I was watching my own VODs. Sorry.
Yo. I already am not feeling well, and you're gonna make me laugh, and I'm gonna probably cough out like a couple of organs of mine.
Okay, if you're laughing at my jokes, you already deserve to cough. Then, I mean, no, how can you laugh at my joke? I'm sorry, there's no one in the audience who comes to laugh at my jokes. That's not how it happens. But what does happen?
I'm a good friend, man.
All right, thank you for that. But right now, well, these 10 players, they have to be good friends of each other in their own teams, not of the opposition, because they are playing for a lot in these group stages. You know, Group A is going to be extremely difficult to get through and be in the top 4 in order to qualify for the playoffs, let alone stay in the group to, you know, try and keep the spot later down the road. But as of now, for True Rippers, they are down 2 down. They are now on the attack. They're executing onto the C-bomb side. The paint shells won't be getting anyone. A couple of members of Team T69 have been tagged. Flashes are going through a lot. And the spike is going to be planted very soon unless there is a reply. And there is a reply from Trist. Trist gets a double, absolutely eliminating everyone from True Rippers onto the bomb side. Now he dies alongside Bings. However, Wonder takes his position and he's still looking for more. He goes for the right click and he won't be getting it. It's now all down to Strix. In a 1 versus 2 in the pistol round, he can clutch this. He has got his abilities to help him. He is going to be peeking the angle. He gets one. Oh no, True Rippers. They take the pistol for them.
Most likely, the pistol is going to allow them to come back into this game as the side of, you know, wow, I just kind of blanked out there for an entire minute. Well, the side of Team T69, that round should have been theirs, to be honest. I think that the way that they were playing it, they had control. They had a little bit of an extra map awareness. They knew where the players were, but in the end, not getting that one kill, Wonder made it a little bit difficult on his own team. So, it's all right, though. It's all right. It's just a pistol. And True Rippers, they're going to be capitalizing upon this. Spectres across the board. Paradox with just a ghost, but he will find one, so that's a good thing. And now they move in towards A. They're being aggressive here. They're not really oh, easy. Be careful. Jumps out, gives up his life, and that's going to be another one that True Rippers will say thank you very much for.
And right now, yeah, I mean, this is the opposite of what we were seeing in half number 1. Before it was, you know, Team T69 on their anti-eco with Spectres and stuff. Right now it's True Rippers, and now it's their turn to deal the damage, and that's exactly, well, what they're doing. You know, T69, they're falling by the wayside, and there's not much that they can do for them because, well, again, the gun disparity is a little too much for them to handle. Binks is still in the bomb site. He can do something. He does get one kill. That is good. So, you know what? A kill on board, that's not too bad. Now, Strix, the other duelist for this side, he has been spotted. He has a flurry of utility on him, and he already loses 30% of his life. Now, going in towards Garage, he does land the right click, but he can't land the life of Relic. So it's going to be a team ace, and it's going to be a simple anti-eco for the side of team True Rippers.
Indeed. Weapons were almost dropped. It could have gone either way. Maybe another weapon drop could have maybe helped the side of Team T69, but they're still okay. They're not going to have a problem. They're going to be able to make sure that they buy in with complete utility and armor. 2 of the players are playing on half armor, but that's okay. Binks and Easy have been on a roll this entire map, and they will maybe continue to do so as soon as they have these phantoms in their hands.
Revealing area.
Wonder looking for a recon to come and take out his positioning, but nothing has been fired yet. Crosshair is instead releasing his Aldrin towards B, and Easy's waiting for this. He goes out in the open, almost takes out Strix, to be honest, but Strix! Forgive me. Oh, sorry, Paradox takes out Binks through the smoke, and he does a great job. Crosshair helps him out to get a second, and there's Crosshair with the third. 2 versus 5, and what a take by True Rippers.
What a round by True Rippers. Let's hope. I mean, let's see if they do end up winning or not, because Wonder is popping off. But now, being in the Swarm Grenade, his HP goes down to 11. And True Rippers, I think they're aware that both members of T69 are going to be coming from A-Link as well. That's why all they have to do is hold this angle. And the members of Team T69, they have to push through. They are going to be pushing through. But in doing so, they will be losing their life. So Wonder wasn't the only one who got a triple kill. Crosshair did the same. And very extremely influential round for True Rippers, I must say, because Team T69 on their full buy Not only did they lose, but they gave free rifles to True Rippers, so they don't have to spend those credits right now. And T69 themselves, they are extremely on the back foot because they have to go for their thrifty round. We can see a Marshal, we can see 3 Sheriffs on board. They can try and deal damage, but they just have to aim for heads. And this is going to be another round which I feel like is going to go in the hands of True Rippers. So honestly, an excellent start in the second half for TR because they have turned a 5-7 deficit into a 9-7 lead.
Obscuring vision.
Beat again as he goes into the smoke. Not a good position, my friend. But it is an eco, so he tried to do whatever he could. Paradox looking for the third. Binks will go down towards mid as he tries to peek out and maybe find a kill with the Sheriff yet again. But the only 2 people left now are Wonder and Trist. And one of them has already gone down. And it's all into Crosshair. He spots him. Now they're chasing him.
They entirely, I mean, okay, I was going to mention if they can just, entirely rotate around him and surround him, but that won't even be necessary. He opted to take a gunfight, couldn't really do much in that scenario. He tried for a kill, but no. True Rippers, flawless round. And Universe, this brings our minds to a similar scenario which we witnessed back in half one, where True Rippers, their economy is looking very good, extremely efficient. They have enough credits in the bank to go for multiple other full buys, even if they lose the upcoming rounds. Meanwhile, T69, they are living paycheck to paycheck. They're living round to round. Whatever they can afford to buy, they have to. Otherwise, they're going for ecos. And now T69 are reaching a point of no return, where they're like, if True Rippers get double digits, if they reach 10 rounds, it's going to be very difficult for us to start executing. So we better lock down this round. And already, Team T69, they are trying to lock down the bomb site. However, with the execute that's happening from True Rippers, it is extremely difficult because Paradox, yet again, he gets a double. Yet again, this guy pops off, being into the bomb site. And yet again, Team T69 are pushed down to 3, make that 2 members as they are trying their level best to get kills. And Wonder is being successful at doing so, but still a lot to conquer in this post-plant.
Well, holding down the angle is just gonna get absolutely demolished by Wonder. And now it's all into Master. He's got a Nano Swarm to take care of it, and he's also got his teammate over there to help him out Crosshair. Now they're being pushed. Strix takes one down, but Master!
Oh my!
Sprays down both of them. And the stroke of luck finds another round, number 10 for True Rippers, and the side of T69 are slipping away here, CCW.
They are. I mean, one observation we can make is that Wonder, he is doing excellent work right now, especially in these retakes. He is just doing a lot, but all by himself he can't really do much. Team T69 yet again, look at what they've been forced into. Look at the corner from which they are playing. I mean, this buy does not speak confidence. This buy just speaks like, we are not sure what to do, because if they go for ecos, well, True Rippers are going to get another entire full, probably flawless round on board, and obviously you don't want to give that away when your opponents have just reached double digits. You want to give them a fight, but how much can you buy? How much you have to save? So many decisions that Team T69 have to make right now. Added on the pressure of winning rounds, because they have not won a single round since the second half has started. The defense is looking a bit weak, and this attack of True Rippers, it is looking extremely strong, but right now they're walking into the Lion's Nest, and Paradox, in this case, he won't be getting a 2k. In this case, he will be the first and for now the only casualty, as the other attackers quickly back off because they realize A is a little too much to execute on. There's so much happening there. You know what? Let's cut back our losses. We lost a person, but that's fine. We can still aim to win the round if we play it smartly.
Yeah, most certainly. That recon is going to give at least a position of one player being here. Wonder needs to be careful. Only a Sheriff to work with. Under Heaven, not the best position to be in. One and done, basically, it is. Now he's got Binks above him, so that's a good thing.
Left.
They're stacking in towards A. Good decision from the side of Team T69, but is it going to be giving them success? Strix, well, he does find a bit of success. 31 HP to Master. He's got an ultimate that it maybe works with it, but no, Strix will get only the one and dashes away to safety, but Relic.
Last player standing.
He's going to be exactly what his name says backwards. He's going to be a killer.
Spike planted.
And he's going to find 3 kills easy as Master shuts down the backstab coming in from Trist. And number 11 It looks like it might just be over here, CCV, unless the side of Team T69 win this round. If they don't win this, you might as well say bye-bye to Haven.
And the thing is, yeah, Team T69 they chose Haven.
Exactly.
So it's even a bigger goodbye. I mean, it's even a worse goodbye. But I mean, honestly, Relic, what was that round? He just peeked and dry peeked those angles and kill after kill after kill. I was stunned. I honestly thought True Rippers had the round because they had spotted out the members of Team T69. T69 had the round because they had spotted out the members of True Rippers pushing in, and they could have locked them away. They could have halted the execute entirely, but that wasn't what happened. True Rippers still got it down, and right now, yet again, True Rippers are looking to get another execute down. Paradox, he's good for 1 kill. Still, no one has dived into the bomb site. Paradox does that just now as he is pushing through, and from behind just gets 1, but he'll only be good for a second as Binks is there with the showstopper. He uses it, and this time he does get a kill. True Rippers down to 2 members, and yet again they have to cut back their losses, but they can't get back one very important thing. That was the spike. However, they don't need the spike because they have crosshairs, immense crosshair placement, 17 HP, completely vulnerable peak, and he still got 3 kills back to back to back consecutively.
Just have a look at that. Like, perfect. 1, 2, 3. Now, this is the problem. Why did you all peek 1 by 1? Why?
And the same angle.
Exactly. You know he clobbered 1, so the other 2 should peek together. Why would you do that? You saw it there. It was like, you know, one of those machines where I forgot. Oh my god, the one that you take a hammer and hit the bear.
Oh yeah. The movie
Yeah,
one.
so they just
that
pick the
arcade.
same place again and again and again, and he's just taking the hammer and hitting it on their head, and that's gonna give them match point and potentially the map of Haven as well. It looks like it's probably done and dusted. 2 Spectres, 3 players on half armor. Strix is on just a sheriff. I don't see them winning this one out, and even if they do, they still have a long way to go.
Yeah. So right now, I have to say that Team T69, I mean, yet again, this execute from True Rippers, always this execute. Now it's not even the fault line. Now it's the rolling thunder being utilized. And everything is going to be utilized. They have 5 ultimates. They can use all 5 of them to get the spike down. And that's exactly what Paradox will be doing. Relic, he gets the opening kill. And Ezzy is on the backstab. However, it's going to be Trist who secures that frag. Killjoy lockdowns are being used. They're going to be spent as well. But the backstab is looking extremely valuable. Binks from the main bomb side. But Master's all alone. He gets a triple. Don't tell him he gets a 4.
He's detained.
He's in the bomb site.
Oh, it's over.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's over. It's over. He's gonna die. That's it. What a way to end it.
My god.
Master, what have you done? What was this game, TCV? What was that climax? I really thought after Binks and as he found these kills, Master, look at this. He turns around. His Nano Swarm helps him out. Unfortunately, his bullets get over, but he's got one really helpful utility just left, and that's exactly what he needed. It's over. What a game.
What an end couple of rounds. The amount of 2Ks, 3Ks, round-winning clutches we have witnessed from the lads in front of our screens. You know, from Crosshair, from Relic, Master just now. Even Paradox, One Tap God, everyone had immense performances. And this was the thing. You know, Universe, we were talking about the standout players on the side of Team T69. We'll mention that. But honestly, it was the standout players on the side of True Rippers. I can see Paradox watching the stream as well, so hi. But the thing was, on it, every single member of True Rippers got kill, clutches, headshots, frags. What can I say? What else can I say that we already haven't witnessed? True Rippers were just on another level individually. Remove as a team, as a unit, how they were playing. The players themselves, the frags they were getting. You know, let's have a look at the map highlights. That way I can highlight even better what I'm saying about these frags and everything they were getting. Sure, Team T69 weren't too far behind, especially not in the first half. The first half, Team T69 were looking really strong. But then I am not sure what got into True Rippers, and they just started winning and winning and winning. And well, we can see the score with which this map comes to an end.
Yeah, indeed. The way that it finished off was probably the most entertaining climactic finish that we could have expected. Drama all around. It is just insane the way this happened. Master clutching out that final round was something that I think I've never seen before. 1v4 clutch of that sort. He just turns around 180, gives a kill. Amazing, dude. What a play by Troopers in the second half, especially. The first half wasn't really their cup of tea, but the way they pulled it back after was insane. Like, they finished this one off 13-7, which, by the way, means that they haven't given a single round away in the entirety of the second half. They were
Yeah.
7-5 down. They were 7-5 down, and they won this 13-7.
Absolutely. I mean, the second half, True Rippers, right from the get go. I was talking about True Rippers. They need to win the pistol, perhaps the anti eco, and then, they can start building upon it more. But they just went full send, and it worked and worked in their favor. Right now, we are still seeing the reminiscence of the first half where Team T69 were performing well. And trust me, T69, we will talk about them more a lot in the second map as well. Once we see them on Ascent, they are looking good. But right now, I think all the glory has to be given to True Rippers, particularly on the basis and primarily on the basis of how they played in half number two. Nothing else. Plain and simple, because of how they played in the second half, is why they deserve all the credit, is why they deserve all the hype. All five of the players in front of our screens on the side of True Rippers that we saw, that we witnessed just now, all of them deserve the glory, because the amount of plays that we have seen from those five individual lads, it is just a lot. And right now, T69, it just felt like they had no reply. I mean, okay, now I'm moving away from how the players played and the kills they were getting. I mean, look at Paradox, look at these executes: 2 kill, plant the spike. It's these executes. To me, it felt like Team T69 didn't have a reply to these executes. They were primarily focused on the retakes, and albeit at times the retake was looking good. Wonder, he did an excellent job in the retakes, but it is halting this execute. That was the main area where Team T69, they just entirely failed. There was no reply for them whatsoever. There was no way, there was no counter that they had to how True Rippers were pushing and how they were gaining side control. It was just too much for them, too overwhelming of stuff.
Yeah, indeed. I think that in the second half, they kind of slacked off. I don't know how or what, but on the defense, Team T69 were completely torn apart. There was nothing they did that worked for them. It was just going two ways, CCB. It was buy and then eco, buy, eco, buy, eco.
That is
That's
true.
all it was. Every single buy round, they would get it down, right? They would get it down. They had individual tactics come in. They had a little bit of team play. I wouldn't say they didn't have team play at all, but this is when things started. When I want to talk about no individual tactics, where it didn't work.
Yeah.
Team play is something that should have been a proper execute right there. One player has gone down, both of you peak together. That is how you make top tier plays. That is how you enter the top echelon of Valorant. You play together, you work together. It doesn't matter whether you get 9 kills or 19 or 29. If you peak together and find a kill, make it a 2v1 for yourselves instead of losing a 1v3 1-by-1. That is how you grow. And that one defining moment, I think, is where they just lost this entire thing out.
I absolutely have to agree with you. Certainly. Looking at the scoreboard as well, Paradox 311 average combat score, 95 economy. So really nice stuff. I mean, yeah, Paradox in the very initial few rounds, he had a bit of a quieter day. We were seeing One Tap God, Crosshair, Relic Master. These guys put on a performance. But then as soon as he switched on over to the attack, as soon as he let go of the operator and picked up that Phantom, it's like he picked up a whole new personality or a whole new play style. The way in which he was playing the dive agent and pushing into the bomb site into his cloudburst, peeking, getting those double kills, planting the spike, everything was pitch perfect in those executions from True Rippers. The utility usage, having two initiators, now we can see why on attack it is so deadly, because you have the fault line, you have the recon bolt, the shock dart, the out. You have so much to help you execute onto the bomb side that, like the word I use, you just end up overwhelming your opponents, and there is nothing that they can do. There's no way that they can handle so much coming at you and coming towards them, that they have no option but to fall back. Team T69, they tried falling back. They were then picked off by Paradox, and we all know how the post-launch scenarios ended. 1v4 clutches. I mean, there were plenty of them. But
Yeah.
right now, hopefully, there are going to be plenty more of them on Ascent as well. Before Ascent Universe, we are going to be taking a very short break. So everyone watching, I know this was an exciting map. You don't want to miss map number 2. So that's why stay tuned, keep watching, and we'll be back with map number 2.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the LG Ultragear presents the Esports Tec Gauntlet Season 4, powered by Crucial, and our apparel partners are none other than 656. Back on the hot seat once again, it's going to be your boy, Aggressive. Universe had to take a short run. He wasn't feeling that well, but I'm going to be here with CZV on my side. He's looking fly. He's looking clean. I didn't know that you had the new haircut, bro, but it looks quite good. It looks quite good. But jumping on down from that, I need you to run me down through the matches. I was watching from the sidelines, and it looked rough. Because Haven, it was favoring Team T69 quite heavily, but right in the middle, they just broke apart.
They certainly did. I mean, the first half was looking quite well. As a matter of fact, they had the advantage. They went into half number 2, 7-5, up 2 rounds. But then they lost, and so on and so forth, right up until True Rippers just got a 1 versus, I mean, Master got a 1 versus 4 clutch, post-plant clutch with the Killjoy to end the entire map. And True Rippers took their opposition's map with them. So Haven was True Rippers. And the one major element that one can witness is for True Rippers, their executions are looking really good on attack. Their defense, sure, it may be a weaker side. I mean, at least on the map of Haven, what we can see is their defense may be a weaker side, but their executes on attack very strong. And on Ascent as well, considering that True Rippers are starting out on attack, we may see something similar happen, we may not. But the second more important thing is, because the side of Team T69 has just had so many multiple roster changes, multiple people joining them, leaving them as well, and the rebrand with everything through and through, is that their communication isn't where they would want it to be. Their communication isn't at the benchmark of what you should expect from a tier 2, almost tier 1 team in the South Asian Valorant region. There were multiple mistakes we spotted from their side, especially on defense. On attack, they were still looking good, which surprised me. They were looking extremely well against True Rippers on attack, but on defense, they certainly, I mean, there's no other way to describe it. They fell apart, you know. There were so many instances where they just gave away 1v3s, 1v4s, these multiple 1vx clutches, and there was nothing that could be done. And True Rippers, they won rounds which they really shouldn't have won.
It's just rough when you consider how True Rippers, they're a squad that were dominant on the map of Haven in all stages of their play. Plus, now that Team T69 is a brand new roster, they're going to have a lot more of those communication problems, so they need time to figure everything out still. But that's the thing. As we're going into Ascent, it's just going to get even more difficult. Consider something. Ascent is a map that requires you to have that same level of coordination and education that you know is required by a professional level team. Otherwise, you're just not going to be able to walk away with that map. Ascent requires you to give the proper comms. You need to use your utility properly because A-side entries are nearly impossible unless your team is on the right page. Your opponents just put up a smoke on the main entrance, and if you're not communicating with your team when you're entering, you're not going to get a single kill, and you're going to get mowed down before you even spot out one single defender. And I'm really hoping that Team T69 don't really fall into that loop. They understand what they need to do against True Rippers because, in a way, the fact that they have won out on Team T69's map, there's a high chance that True Rippers will take away the map of Ascent because this is, if not, one of their best maps.
Certainly so. I have to agree with you on that. Right now, for the side of True Rippers, I mean, things are working for them. And me and Universe, we were talking about this earlier, is that Team T69, it's the first time ever this new roster is playing in a live broadcasted setting in front of thousands of viewers, thousands of fans as well. So absolutely, certainly so, there's going to be pressure on them. And right now, it's not just about the pressure, but it's about the team synergy. And that is something that only improves with time. And with this team only having a couple of days, literal days with each other to try and have all of this, I mean, it's going to take a little more than that. So for now, it's going to be a shaky start for them. And I'm not just talking about this BO3. Even the next BO3 that they'll be playing in the Gauntlet against whichever opponent it is, it can be a bit difficult. This one right now is looking extremely difficult. However, a lot can be decided in the agent selection with the compositions, with the metas that these teams will be playing for. So, without any further ado, let's jump into the agent selection screen on the map of Ascent, Team T69. Well, there's one person quite quick on the trigger. It's going to be Binks yet again on the Raze, and on the side of True Rippers, it's going to be his arch nemesis, Paradox, playing the Jet. So, these two players, these two agents, we know for a fact it's going to happen. Two Rippers have gone for the same comp that they had early on Haven. Double Initiator can be spotted yet again. Meanwhile, T69, they are also going to be playing the same composition. The only difference is it's going to be double Duelist versus double Initiator. So aggressive, we talked about this earlier. We saw this earlier in Haven as well. But, double Duelist versus Initiator on Ascent, how do you see this panning out?
Double Duelist is a composition that I really don't get behind as much. We have seen a lot of Southeast Asian teams pull this composition off every single time in the other tournaments that we have casted and hosted. And you could see when they were going up against a double initiator composition, they struggled heavily on the map of Ascent. Because
Right.
what's the bread and butter of a double duelist composition? You rely completely on those raw engagements that you're able to take with the minimum utility that your Sova is bringing to you. Then you bring into the mix of something like a Raze. It's hard because now it's not even a Reyna. At least with the Reyna, you have an entry point with a flash, but the flash doesn't exist. Strix needs to pull a lot more of his own weight, with Binks being the one to facilitate his own pushes. It's hard. How do they want to take these entries? Ascent, with the composition that they're running here, it feels as though I'm going back like almost a year in the inception of Ascent when we saw Omen getting picked up instead of the Astra. That's a little bit of extra utility. We know how good Ezzy is on the Astra, but versus a Breach, I don't think that the Raze is going to be able to fill in that gap.
That is true. I mean, yeah, the extra heap of utility that you can garner with Sova and Breach, I mean, we already witnessed that. What were we talking about early in the pre-match presentation just now, Grayson? We were talking about how Team T69, they could not handle the executions that True Rippers were throwing at them, primarily because they were just overwhelmed by the amount of utility that was being spent in said executions. We were seeing smokes, cloudburst, dashes, killjoy utility, swarm grenades and stuff, recon bolts, owl drones, and obviously have Breach's utility as well. It was just too much for the members of T69 to handle, and therefore they couldn't. Therefore, they backed down and started preferring more for a retake style, and even that didn't work out. We talked about how T69, they didn't win a single round on their defense, and True Rippers were just running away with their executions and running away quite literally, with the round count being in their favor as well. So now, yet again, the same question has to be asked. Is it going to be the same thing? Is it going to be a carbon copy on Ascent as well? Or with this change of map, with there only being 2 bomb sites in a far smaller map in terms of the square area, are we going to see the members of Team T69 pull off a better defense? Your rotations can be quicker, information is more concise on Ascent. Perhaps it can lead to better results on defense, but only the gameplay will answer for that, as we are already seeing the game has started. The rounds have commenced. Pistol round is here, ready to go. Two Rippers are ready to execute on A, as Paradox may be the first person to take entry into Garden, but he may be facing off against Ezzy very quickly, and even Strix.
Oh, dude, Strix nearly got that headshot on towards the face of Paradox. He nearly got tapped out of existence, but Paradox, he's taking a good chunky amount of damage, but that's all that they're gonna be needing to get. The sidelines, it is gonna be Crosshair being able to get that first, but Ezzy, he doesn't miss those shots. He's gonna be able to tap out one more player, but Master from the sideline shuts down Wonder. And with that, Crosshair, he's pretty much stuck inside of a site and he has no way of getting out of it. He needs to wait for his buddy to even get him out of this sticky situation. Masters, he needs to push up. If he doesn't, there's no way the spike's gonna be able to go down.
That is true. I mean, he needs the support. Being on 15 HP, he needs some sort of assistance.
Because the spike has not been revealed, so they don't know where the spike is at.
Yeah, they can still think that it may be with Master, but the thing is, that's why the Killjoy from the side of team T69, or T69, sorry, is still
Spike
on B.
planted.
Only now the sound cue has been given as the spike quite obviously has been planted, and now the two defenders have been informed that, okay, it is A, both the attackers are here, we have a good shot of winning this retake. Let's play together. Let's play with each other, and they're going for individual picks, and that's going to be the first for Master, and now Ezzy with 13 HP left all alone on Haven.
I don't think
On
this is
Heaven,
gonna happen.
sorry. And he's gonna be peeking. He's gonna be checking the angles. He slowly goes down, but no, it's going to be Crosshair.
How do
The
they get
person
this?
with whom he was in the Mexican duel right there when Ezzy was in Garden and Crosshair was on the bomb side is the person who takes his life. And True Rippers, they do win this 2v2 post plant.
That is insane. How does he get away with this? I thought that Ezzy was gonna go in for a swing and a push because he knows for a fact that that the Sova was on very low levels of HP. But he stayed back, tried to play a defensive, thinking that there was gonna be a Killjoy on mid. I understand why he felt so paranoid, but he had all of the calls. Or didn't he?
Not really sure. Not really
Wonder
sure.
didn't give a call about that?
I'm not aware of that, but right now T69, they're off to a good start. The thing is, I don't really see Strix moving. So maybe it's a technical issue he's had and there wasn't enough time to pause it. So T69, they will be playing this round with 4 people. Well, it's already a 4 versus 4. True Rippers, they've gone for the classic anti-eco. They have got all the utility. They've got the Spectres. They've got full armor. They are ready to execute. The spike is all the way over on A main. And you have Master lurking where he was prior, like in the previous round as well, towards B main. So as of now, True Rippers, they're just waiting, they're just holding the angle. Only Ezzy on the A bomb side, and that is a bit troublesome because he needs information. He needs to tell his teammates that, okay, you know, they may be executing on A, and with his location being revealed, and with the fault line, the aftershock, everything affecting him. I mean, this is just a classic example of just how deadly Breach and Sova can be. Anti-entrenchment abilities at their finest. True Rippers now, they have planted the spike. T69, they are on the retake with 3 members.
It's a tough one for them to try and bring one back from. But for now, it's going to be Master's turn. Spots out the heads up Mings. Shuts him down immediately before he can even see the face of the Rays. But I guess for now, it's okay. They were waiting for Strix to reconnect. And I do believe that they didn't take the pause because it was an eco round. They're not looking for much here. Maybe a couple of exit frags, but the attacker's not even going to give them that. The side of True Rippers, they're gonna have full control. One more kill for Masters to get. He's gonna be able to find it. One step closer to gaining that point for himself. And if he's able to just find that Killjoy lockdown a lot more earlier just by picking up 2 ultimate orbs right here and right now and getting 1 more kill, their execution will get a lot more easier for this bonus.
Alright. So right now for the side of True Rippers, well, it's going to be a bonus round. The good thing was they had the majority members alive post round number 2. They still had 3 members on board, so that was nice. T69 in the meanwhile, they can go for the full buy, and Strix, it looks like, you know, his issues still haven't been resolved. So pause has been called by T69 because now, like you mentioned, aggressive, it is the full buy. They wouldn't like to give this round away. The previous round, sure, whatever happens, it's fine. This round is pretty influential for T69 because they are playing for retaliation. They are playing for the first ever round on board. So for that very reason, True Rippers, they won't be thinking a lot. They are calm. They're just going to be playing normally. And with how they're playing, they're just focusing on the bomb sites directly. I mean, we haven't seen a lot of mid presence. With the exception of Master, we haven't really seen anything or a lot happening towards like market. And while I'm talking about Master, even he doesn't like push into market. He still plays like near mid and near B link. He doesn't push any further than that. He doesn't probe into the defenses of 369. He stays, he maintains his ground, and that's about it. So with mid being overlooked, does that give opportunity for either one of these teams to pull off some sort of flank or sort of retake or anything of that sort? Because I certainly feel like something like that can happen, especially with True Rippers, because they really haven't paid a lot of attention to the B bomb side. Granted, it's only been 2 rounds. They've gone to A both these rounds, but right now as well, it looks like they're planning an A take. So something can happen from mid to B. I can see that being a real possibility in the strat book of the attackers.
We just gotta wait and see for now, though. The way that True Rippers are playing, They're looking to feel out all of the different cyclones that they can get and spot out any weaknesses being put down by Team T69. And looking down towards the side. Short. It is going to be Ezzy being able to get the first initial kill on towards the face of Paradox, who tried to go in for a massive dash in forward, but he's going to close the distance fast enough. That's going to cost him there, but Bangs in medium swing out takes out Relic, but one tap god's going to be good with a beautiful martial kill of his own. Shotgun rating on down through it, Ezzy. You're just going to get cut down into pieces. One more kill for you. Big from the sidelines is going to be able to shut down another, and he is the game changer for them all. Binks. He now heard out all of the shots. They know for a fact the last two players are on towards A main. And now, it's just all about the rotations. They need to run it down forward. Big should be good for one more, but still not going to be able to find that kill. Jiggles it out, but Crosshair's just way better. Shots are going to be clean. They know what angles they're fighting for. But the door has already been broken, and it's easy game for Triss. Takes out one. He's not going to be able to take out one more. But Crosshair? He tried to jump up, but got caught in the mid-jump.
All right.
That's rough.
Yeah. That could have gone really badly for T69 had they not gotten that final kill, had Wonder not gotten the final kill. However, with a surviving member, they do take their first round on board. So that is good for the defense. They have suffered a bit economically. The economy isn't looking the best. And in terms of utility as well, not just weaponry and armor, but still, it's enough for them to be granted still a shot at fighting and retaliating against the attacking side. And True Rippers, they are looking good right now, but now they're focusing on B. And this is the one thing, wherever True Rippers focus on is exactly where they're looking to execute. Right now, they have a lot of their cards faced on B, and it may or may not backfire. We are seeing the recon board, it goes out, it has been destroyed, so it gives the information to Triss that someone, at least someone, is there. And Master is pushing up, he's pushing up into the crosshairs of that very judge. We may see a kill. We do. Wonder, Trist. Well, they do a lot for their side as well. Team T69, they suffer one casualty, but that's just that. You know, they are piling on the pressure on True Rippers, and there's not much that these two surviving members on the attacking side can do. They are isolated. One towards mid, one near attacker spawn. How much can they achieve on their own? Probably not a lot.
Be a rough for him, but now it's gonna be Relic's turn to swing out and take a fight. Not gonna be able to get anything here, and Trist, freebie for him, pulls out the glitch bomb judge and shuts down the final player. 2-2 on the scorecards here already, ladies and gentlemen, and they're looking quite good here. Team T69, they have their footing on the map, and now they force True Rippers into an eco.
Placing alarm bot.
Right, and yeah, this is looking really positive for the side of T69. Things are looking on the up and up for them, but they have to continue this momentum. They cannot stop right now. I mean, we have seen Team T69, you know, they've had an amazing first half, but at the same time, the second half can falter as well. The good thing is, this is them on their defense, and they are looking good. The thing is, but on Ascent as well, either one of the sides can be deadly. It depends more on the team rather than the side that they're playing. So right now, with all that being said and done, we have hypothesized enough. We have to see how the teams are playing themselves. And Paradox, he is pushing through market like anything, like a freight train. He has gone towards Pizza as well, clearing out these angles, face checking a lot of stuff, but he has got the support of one tap god playing the breach. And what we can see from the side of True Rippers is that they are planning a B take, but they can go into defender spawn as well if they want to. I mean, look at where Paradox is. He can push into defender spawn, catch a kill onto Binks off guard, but with this Bulldog, is it going to be viable? He is going for the ADS spray. He is going for the burst fire. However, T69, they are holding their ground. They're not giving up. Relic pushes in, but he is the first casualty. Paradox also loses his life, and every single one of the attackers falls to the ground. It is a flawless win for T69.
My god, that round just went from a 0 to 100 in a couple of seconds. What the hell was that? Did you catch it on instant replay? Because honestly speaking, even the instant replay probably would catch up on this one. They just swung out and one by one got popped in the head before they could even see a single player inside of the site. That's gonna be a tough one for them, but for now at least, Team T69, they have a strong lead and they have the confidence on their side building up over and over again. True Rippers though, they need to figure out exactly what's going wrong for them. I do believe that the plays that they are making are just so aggressive that they're not playing for trades. You can already see that Paradox, he took a swing by himself and went in for a crouch spray over onto A main. Taking an open-ended fight onto A main without any form of a smoke holding down upper. That should never happen.
That is true. I mean, right now, True Rippers, you know, they are amidst uncertainty as to what can work for them, because for the past couple of rounds, nothing has been working for them. They won the pistol, they won the anti-eco, but T69, well, they have won the 3 gun rounds consecutively, and they have not given anything to True Rippers. It is feeling like True Rippers are losing control round after round after round, and you know, very soon they may get desperate in terms of trying to get back the control. We are seeing that happen. This round as well, it's still precise. They're taking things slow, which is good. They're not rushing into anything. However, even if they slowly go into the B bomb side,
30 seconds
look at
left.
the sheer amount of utility that Killjoy has right here. It's not going to be easy getting through everything that Trist has set up. Plus, the Astral Stars as well. So, True Rippers with 15
are
seconds,
divided.
well, they have no other choice. But essentially, they have to go for this execute, and they do. Trist, he gets one. The spray trance won't allow him anymore. With 5 seconds on the clock, the spike needs to be planted. And can it be planted? No, it won't be, because the person planting the spike was killed. And Team T69, they win the round. Albeit they lost a lot of casualties. One tap god, he got multiple headshots. But the person planting the spike, he just died due to the Hunter's Fury. And that was just great utility usage from the defense.
It's going to be a tough one for them to bring it all back. Because currently, we already see the scoreline just slipping away from True Rippers. Yes, that was pretty rough round for them. It was an eco, but come on, they need to try and figure something out. They're giving away these rounds primarily due to the fact that they're over-aggressing on too many different sidelines. They need to slow it down a little bit and just allow Paradox to do his thing. Yes, but don't let him do it all alone. If he does it all alone, you're putting so much pressure onto just one single player that he's always not going to be the one to perform. But hey, it's Paradox. That's one. He's looking for one more for himself, but Big shuts him down immediately. He's not even going to miss a skip a beat on that one. Crosser and Relic shuts down 2 more. With that, finally, this is the team lane coordination that I was hoping for. Paradox went in for an entry, and then immediately his team was able to capitalize coming in for it together. That's what you want to see, but Trist, he's going to be the game changer for it all.
It can be the Odin as well, as much as I hate to say, it could be the Odin. But right now, there goes the defender side of Killjoy lockdown. Can we see one from the attacking side as well, or are they looking to destroy the lockdown? Well, the
nice
Odin has
shot.
been destroyed. Trist is in garden. His barrel of the gun has been spotted, but he gets another kill. And are we going to see a detainment? Well,
He knows.
yes. Yes, we are. And he can
should
just
know.
defuse. He can just defuse the spike. Crosshair. He goes. Oh, he can kill Trist. He will. Oh my god. Trist. How do you describe what just happened, Aggressive? How do you describe?
Trist nearly got the clutch.
Uh,
He played it
Yeah.
smart. But the thing is, he was just not the one to finish it off. If he got that kill, there was more than enough time for him to go in for that full defuse, but
that is true.
it's a sad situation in general, but you have to give credit where credit is due. Trist played that round beautifully, and there's a reason why he is one of the best clutchers, in my eyes at least. He doesn't have the stats to back it up, he doesn't have the winnings to say that he's an incredible clutcher, but when you see this man, he is on a different level every single time. But Wonder with an Odin, hey, the gun from the black market, it's always gonna shine.
No. Okay. Anyways, right now, well, True Rippers, they're going for the same strategy, pushing deep into mid. However, Paradox's location is known. And there goes the spam fire. And from behind, Trist was there as
Oh,
well.
I feel bad
Oh,
for him,
Paradox
dude.
is being bombarded with everything. He just lost his friend. And then so much happened. And right now, he does escape. But with how little HP he has and no way to heal himself, True Rippers yet again have a major obstacle in front of them. Ezzy, he's right there in garden, and he can't land his shots. However, Strix surely can. He gets one, he's looking for a second, and the thing is, he's all alone in the bomb site, waiting, hoping the reinforcements arrive as soon as possible. However, he doesn't need anyone. He gets a second, and now he can use the shorty as well, and he gets the clutch. Strix, he puts his name on the board yet again as T69 get their 5th.
You gotta say that was a little bit of a comical moment that happened to Ezzy. Ezzy pretty much helped the attackers dodge his bullets. I'm pretty sure that's what it's gonna feel like to play against Neon when she's just sliding around you constantly. Astro Gravity, well, oh hell no, she needs a slide to make it all happen. But I have to give it to Strix. Under so much pressure from 2 different sidelines, he's able to isolate the 1v1 against one-tap God, and then immediately swing forward, knowing that Paradox is on very low levels of HP. He can just take a fight, and he has no worries whatsoever. He also jumped before pulling out that shorty shot, because you gotta remember, if you jump, you throw away a good player's crosshair placement, and you're gonna be able to bring it all back. But Paradox?
He was all alone. Wait, I'm sorry. He was all alone?
Yeah.
No initiator with him, and he is the only duelist on the side on an attack. Well, right now I do get that it's not a very expensive round from the members. However, they can still deal damage. Master triple! He gets another onto Wonder as well. And now Strix is all alone. Well, we have seen him pull off 1v2 clutches before. He just did a 1 versus 3. But right now, he is pushing in. And with the Blade Storm, that is an excellent kill with excellent movement. However, we're going to be seeing the masters of clutches against each other. Well, it's going to be Master, who in this thrifty round got a lot of kills. Strix in the previous got a triple kill. And right now, the Killjoy lockdown, it has been destroyed. The Blade Storm's there. All it needs is a single knife. Master's in the corner, and it's going to be Strix yet again on his shoulders. T69 take another round. A fair play to Master. 3k with the frenzy, fair play.
How did he get away with so much with a sheriff in his hand? But Master,
Oh, sorry, a sheriff, not a frenzy. Yes, my
Yeah.
apologies.
with the sheriff in his hand, he was able to get 3 very beautiful kills, 2 simultaneous ones, mind you, which I thought that it was not gonna happen. He's just swinging out, he's tapping heads, and he's able to make that sheriff sing. But in a way, it feels as though Team T69, they have so much more control over the map of Ascent. Granted, Ascent is a lot more defense favored than you would like to admit. So, in that sense, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to end this half off at a respectable scoreline at the bare least. Either it has to be a 7-5 or a 6-6. I am not gonna settle for an 8-4 scoreline at all in this map, because we have seen 8-4 scorelines end horribly in this map in particular because of the new meta shifts that happened. But at the same time, Team T69, their strategies are gonna get a lot more weaker whenever they shift over down to their own attacking side, because that's where the raids will start to fall off just a little bit more. You're not going to get as much value out of your utility, and even if you clear out one corner and you send the raids to just fly through behind a jet, it's not going to work that beautifully.
Right. So, yeah, get as many rounds on defense as possible. But I have to agree with you, Gracie, right now. On the side of True Rippers, it's not full panic mode as of now. I mean, they know the second half, if they start having bad results in the second half, that's when they have to severely change things. Right now, they can play it slowly, but they would still like a couple more rounds on both. 3 is not enough. 9 will be enough. Paradox by himself pushing in the bomb side. He gets it. I'm sorry. No. Okay, Master gets 1, and he gets straight out, but Paradox, while moving, he gets a headshot with the Vandal through a smoke. How? Why? Okay, alright, Binks is there. He is on the flank right now. Let's have a look at this round, and then we can discuss what we just witnessed, as there are 2 members in the wine corner. Binks, he's got a showstopper. He gets 1.
Oh, he's not
Doesn't know
gonna
about Crosshair. Oh my god, Crosshair was there. Now it's all down to Wonder 1 versus 2. We have seen him do this on Haven multiple times, but now it's a different ordeal altogether.
This is not going to work out for him at all. It's nearly impossible. Wonder's position has already been revealed. Timer is taken on down. He's going to look for 1. He's not going to be able to find it, but Paradox, you are a miraculous player. A miracle boy in the making. He's able to find that kill out of absolutely nowhere, bringing the round back onto his team's side. 6-4. And finally, True Rippers, they're gonna be able to get that position held strong. Because now, even though they won out on that round, they're not out of the danger zone just yet. They need to win this one and finally stabilize their economy and force Team T69 down into the ditches. Because you gotta remember, they're investing in this round, and if they lose here, they're gonna have nothing for the last round of this half.
Right. And I'm not gonna lie, whoever wins this map doesn't matter too much to me. You know, both the teams, they're performing excellent. I just want to see the match highlights so I can rewatch what just happened. And probably there's going to be a clips channel uploading that, as right now we are seeing multiple members just downing their clips, they're downing their magazines, emptying those magazines and getting multiple kills, as that is another putting Team T69 in the man advantage. They've got 4 members alive. True Rippers, with the 3 that they have, they are ready for an A take, and that's a great kill from one tap god. So True Rippers, they have got all 3 of their ultimates. The Killjoy lockdown, I believe, even if it does get initiated, yeah, it's gonna get destroyed pretty much instantly. It has been initiated and it's gonna be destroyed in a matter of seconds. But it does allow Wonder to push up, and he does get the 1 kill. But Paradox is right here, gets 1. He's behind the double boxes.
Him? Is he? Is he? He 3 killed.
Enemy remaining.
He does. And now he knows about the location of the final member. Crosshair has to isolate these gunfights, but he can't. Good retake from T69.
I have to say that that Astral Star placement from Izzy was galaxy brain. He placed the star on top of the generator so it covers the entire generator. The back, the front, the sides. So Crosshair had nowhere to run. He just got outplayed to the max.
Yeah, and the flank as well, as he did perform great. And I believe the Killjoy lockdown kind of sort of served its purpose. I mean, it was a good distraction, which, you know, allowed the other members from T69 to push up and get those kills. Even if they got traded out in the end, doesn't matter too much. But right now, True Rippers, even though it was looking a good round, the retake was just a little too much for them to handle, and now they are forced into this semi-buy, weird buy of sorts, where the economy isn't really in a stable place or in a known territory. They have whatever they can afford, but still, even with whatever they can afford, Paradox can do a lot of damage. It's good for 1, but yeah, I think he pushed a little too deep into the Lion's Den with just going all alone. But it does allow his team to push up into the A-bomb side. They can plant the spike, but the thing is aggressive. Yet again, the retake will just be way too good from T69.
You are divided.
That's not how it was meant to go,
What,
but
Biggs?
Biggs, he whips out on the shots. The whips do happen, don't really worry about it. Wonder from the sidelines, he wants to take his own fight, but the Astral Divine's causing him a good chunk of damage. They don't know what to fight, they don't know where to run. It is gonna be Relic using that moment of confusion to the best of his own abilities to be the one to shut down all of the players as they're jumping down. 7 and 5, a very respectable end to their first half. So True Rippers going into the much more favorable side of Ascent. I think that they're more than ecstatic about this, because now Vinx, he's gonna have an even harder time trying to make an entry happen. He needs to get a lot more creative, and he cannot miss out on a single shot.
That is true. And the thing is now aggressive. This is the exact same scoreline we saw in Haven. T69 had a 2-round lead, and what I had said back then was True Rippers, all they need to do is win the pistol. Quite obviously the anti-eco will fall in their hands as well, and then they can fight their way. But right now, seeing what happened on Haven, I'd say that it's T69. Even though they have the lead, they have to be careful of this pistol. This pistol round can start a domino effect that can lead to True Rippers winning the entire best of 3, taking map number 2 with them. So they have to be careful with this. All 10 of the members, a lot to play for. I get it's only round number 13. I get it's very early into map number 2, but it is a pretty influential round because it can decide the mindset of all 10 of these players heading on later down the road on Ascent and possibly even Breeze. As right now, we are seeing the first gunfight, the first engagement taking place. Both players trade away damage, both players trade away bullets, they fire bullets, and they fire themselves back and they retreat a bit as True Rippers are still maintaining their core defense. They have the majority situated towards B. And the problem we can see right now is that T69 are looking to enter just there as they're not aware of what to expect. Is this another case of not having enough information because you only have a single initiator? That once over, he better get a lot of info about how many defenders are on B because the execute is right here.
Strix, beautiful tap onto the face of what Tap got. He's not even going to be expecting any of that crosshair. He just get absolutely mowed down. Strix with 2 more. He chimes in so good. He chimes in at the perfect time, but Paradox, he has his own call-in. He's gonna be able to shut down those two players immediately as they enter down over to their side. 3 attackers are still very much alive. 1 person's already on that lurk. He cannot miss any of these shots. Paradox, you need to come in clutch. But Ezzy, he's already there. And Para, I know you're good, man, but it's not gonna happen. Not in this scenario, not in this lifetime. He gets stinged in the head once, and then Ezzy's gonna be the one to finish him off. 8 and 5 on the scorecards, and it is gonna be Team T69 bringing the first initial piss round of this second half to close.
Right, so yeah, True Rippers, a lot of work in front of them. Great execute. I was genuinely afraid a bit for T69 looking at the execute because they were up against a lot. Killjoy, Breach, so there was so much utility that they had to handle. However, there was one person in that shed that handled it efficiently, to put it in the least of terms. He was very good with it, and he made sure that it stayed with his team. So great stuff right there as we move on over to the next round, and already we are seeing T69. Well, they are on the anti-eco. They get one. Wonder gets his second as well, and that is the second person inside of Truth falling to the ground, potentially followed by a third. Master has been spotted. Master has been down. So it's a simple anti-eco round. You have Spectres against Sheriffs and Classics. Not much we can expect from True Rippers. They will be focusing on the next round on board. So this round is just a bonus for T69. And maybe Crosshair can get 1 kill. He gets 1. He gets 2. That is nice. But he has been spotted. And now he's... okay, that was nice from Binks.
He had nothing to do there. He was gonna die regardless. If he destroyed it,
He got his
he's
revenge.
dead. Yeah. But that's the sad part, dude. If he destroyed it, he would die. If he didn't destroy it, he would still die.
Good for Binks. He got his revenge from when his ultimate only got a single kill back in half number 1. But regardless, right now, okay, everything has been reset. Team T69, great round for them. Only 2 casualties, but it's a bonus round now. True Rippers are the ones who have invested a lot in this round, and they would like to see returns on their investment. They would like this round to be quite well and to go quite well. And that's exactly why we can see the members of True Rippers. This is their map. Ascent is their choice. They have lost the initial pistol. They have lost the anti-eco. Completely fine. Now that they have rifles in their hands, all 5 of these members in front of our screens, they can regroup mentally, and they can make sure, you know, they're not in any mindset that we are losing this. For them, it's going to be a start from null. So they've got to make sure that, you know, it's all well and good. Other than that, for the side of T69, they know they've got a bit of momentum on, and they know they can use this a bit of a timeout as well to their advantage, helping them essentially get their idea, get their strategy on board, and make sure all 5 of the players are on the same page with how they want to take this half and how they want to take this map, because they do have a good round advantage.
Now that we do see them being in a spot, but Paradox, I didn't notice it before, but did you see his cap?
I noticed. I didn't see it right now. I saw it before, after map 1 ended, and he was watching the stream as well. I saw it then. Hopefully he heard me. A big fan. No, I didn't see it right now, no.
Do you see what he's wearing?
I do. Okay, I do see that. That is a very... The thing is, a lot of people may say, what is he wearing? But the thing is, it keeps your ears warm. That's the main thing. I'm not really sure where Paradox exactly lives, but here, North Indian stuff, it's getting cold. The winter hits you, and it hits you like a brick, even though it's not that cold compared to the previous years. That's why, if he lives somewhere here, I can absolutely understand why he would like to keep his ears warm. It's a very big problem. The ears and nose, anyone who lives in cold, they know it's a big problem. Why is he wearing them over his headphones? That's a good question.
No, he just wants to look cute.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. Looking cute is quite important. It helps you increase the headshot percentage that you are normally not going to be able to hit. And I feel as though our observer is a little bit hungry. He's been staring at this pizza for the longest time. You're not going to be able to see it back at home, ladies and gentlemen, but we see it instead. He's a hungry boy.
Well, I think all 10 of these players are going to be hungry, not for pizza, I don't think, in Valorant, but
hungry for a
rather for
win.
kills and for points in this group stage, absolutely for the win. You know, T69, they can't give up just yet. Even like the previous BO3 that we saw, you know, aggressive view casting that, like the team did manage to get a single round on board. FS did manage to get that. Sure, they lost, but that 1 point meant a lot. As
Yeah.
right now, what I don't understand is how is there steam and smoke coming out of the pizza if it's on a box? How hot is it that it's getting legit smoke? Pizzas don't work like that. They don't have enough water in them to have this much steam.
I do believe that when you consider, oh wait, there's actually Steve. I didn't
Yeah.
notice this. I play on the
See?
lowest graphical settings.
Uh-huh.
And honestly speaking, this is a big
There.
realization for me. But hey,
Why
who
is
plays
the
on
steam
high
coming out
settings
of the
anyways?
pizza?
Who plays on high settings anyways?
That's completely fine. I mean, you know, to provide the highest quality for our viewers as well, we have the highest quality in game. But yeah, I'm sorry. If anyone in the chat, I'm not reading the chat, maybe later, but if anyone in the chat can tell me an actual rational reason why there is this much smoke coming out of the pizza, I will give you a free pizza. I'll give you a coupon code. I have plenty of those stacked up. But right now, Team T69, well, they do have a lot of rounds stacked up. They've got 4 in the bag. And coming back to the game, I think this technical pause should be resuming shortly. Hopefully it resumes as soon as possible. We can see all 10 of the players moving. So hopefully it gets resolved. But other than that, I'd say that, yeah, I think the teams have had plenty of time to talk with themselves, get through and rectify any and all problems that they must have. And now they can start focusing on round number 15, which will be coming up very soon.
You know that you're gonna start a war in the comment section because of what you said, but hey, I'm gonna be. I really need to see that
Pizza
later on.
shouldn't
But I
have that
will
much
see it.
smoke.
I know it really shouldn't, but hey, it's the game of Valorant. You have a Korean girl who's running around with a blade storm,
Doesn't matter.
breakneck speeds, has a tailwind, misses out on the first
Doesn't
shot.
matter.
Strix is still there. He's still gonna try to go in for it. He's gonna get flashed. He's gonna get pulled. He's gonna need to get out, but no kills happen just yet.
Killed
And
my
now
bot.
it's time for one Tec Gauntlet to just finish him off. Catches him in between the smoke, I do believe, and Binks. His position is already revealed, but Relic, stay.
Spike down B.
That's 1 kill, but it's fine because it's a 3
I
versus
need to
4
knock
situation. Still the advantage going in the favor of the side of the defense, and the market door has also not been closed.
Spike planted.
So that's another thing they need to worry about.
Last player standing.
Well, right now, this flurry of kills is something they absolutely need to worry about. Wonder is right here, but he's stuck all alone. And his location is known by all of the members of True Rippers. And they are converging on him. And he won't be able to get a single kill as well. So quite unfortunate. As True Rippers, this time out certainly has worked in their favor. They will be defusing the spike. They will be taking their first round on board in the second half. So that is really good. That is absolutely good because they absolutely needed this. After losing the initial 2 rounds, they needed to get back momentum. So that is nice. But now they have to continue it, much like what T69 had to do after they had won round number 3 all the way back in the first half. So it's the same situation, opposite teams, exactly what we're seeing right now. The only difference is the sides have been swapped. So, Aggressive, in your opinion, do you think heading into round number 4 of the second half, True Rippers can get another win and, they can inch closer to equalizing the score and make it a 9-9 or 10-10?
I do believe there is a possibility of an equalization happening, but as
Right.
it is on the 9-6 scoreline, I really want to see if we're going to be witnessing Team T69 be able to take the 10th still. Because personally, in my opinion, I don't think it should happen, but Paradox, once again, way too much aggression. I think his orange panda hat is giving him a little bit too much. I don't know what I don't know how I feel about this. He's been pushing so often that he's becoming predictable.
Right, and I mean, pushing up without a lot of support as well. That's something we saw earlier. Well, right now we are seeing is Team T69 have a great execute setup. The fault line goes through. One tap god is trying to delay, and he delays the attack excellently as he picks up 2 quick kills with the flash. He peeks. That's his third. Great stuff from One Tap God. However, there's a quick little however there. Binks gets a 2k and T69 win the round. So a very valiant effort right now from One Tap God. Look at the crisp headshots. He peeks, gets one, gets the second, the spike has been dropped. Now, he's got the support of the Astra, he flashes, he peeks, that's another, but Pings was right there, and Relic made the mistake of dropping down, thus reducing his accuracy as he was mid-air. As he tried to get back his accuracy, Pings was already there to get rid of him and get his 18th kill on the board, the highest right now that we are seeing in this entire server.
Inks is just on a tear. I'm gonna take it all back. It feels as though the Raze is just as good on the side of attack. Again, Paradox. A little bit too far, man. But oh my god! How is Tec doing this? He's hitting so much damage down with his own utility. That's more than enough. It's all up to wonder. 11 HP and a dream. It's just not gonna happen. Not against the Spectre run and gun. He's gonna be the one to get taken out. And now it's a 10-7. Possibility of a 10-10 scoreline where you call the equalization here, CCV. It's a lot more probable.
Could be, but a lot has to take place. And the thing is, Aggressive, that well, I have to bring Haven up as an example because it is the only other benchmark we have of this new T69 playing against True Rippers. Is that yet again, in an instant, no matter how close these two teams are, in an instant, everything can take a turn for the worst for one of the teams, and everything can take a turn for the best for either or for their opposition as well. As right now we are seeing Paradox pushing through, and he does get the run and gun kill, and he gets a second as well. Meanwhile, Relic with one over the Spectre. I do get that T69, they don't have the best weaponry, but this is a little too quick for them. They have lost multiple kills, but Strix, he is not giving up just yet. He is good for 2. But True Rippers get another round on board without losing too many of their members. And we can see the comeback happening, but this round can decide a lot. If T69 now on their full buy, if they can get this win and they have 11 rounds, they have a solid chance of winning Ascent.
They could just take it all away for themselves, but for now at least, they need to take it still. It's 10-8. True Rippers, it's their opportunity to finally put the final nail on the coffin. Take out any of the attackers coming on down through, because you gotta remember, this is Paradox's operator we are talking about. We know how dangerous he is as an operator player. He heard out the owl drone. Is he gonna take a swing though? That's the real question. I don't think he's gonna go in for it. He's gonna take the fight. He's gonna take the engagement, but he needs to pop himself out. But oh my god, that was a beautiful shot. But he pretty much dashed out in the open, and Strix is gonna be the one to shut him down instead. A good trade, I would say, but it's a decent one. Because you gotta remember that the defenders have all of their ultimates still available. So if they play it slow, if they play it steady, they have nothing to worry about.
Absolutely. And all of these ultimates are great for retakes as well. And that's the one thing I think. And it's a decision that True Rippers are actively making right now. They're not contesting within the bomb site. They're playing in the surrounding areas, the adjacent areas of the bomb site. We can see Breach and KJ doing that. Exactly. Very smart, because they can rely on their ults. Rolling Thunder, Lockdown, Hunter's Fury, even the Cosmic Divide to an extent, everything can help with these retakes. So that's why they are playing for retakes. With the exception of Sova right now, no one is in the bomb site. And even Sova, you know, he can look to deal some damage using his guns. Crosshair is ready, waiting for that recon bolt, but it goes somewhere else. And the B execute is happening right now. Strix, he dashes in to the boathouse. That's a great kill with the flash. Great team skill synergy. Great team synergy right there. Crosshair, he does die, but he wasted enough time, and now we can see the Rolling Thunder is going as well. The spike has been planted, but the players are concussed, and the aftershock goes through. Strix, he has to move away. He does get a kill, and now he's back to normal state.
This is bad.
Now True Rippers are in deep trouble.
This could just end in the most horrible way possible. Masters, you cannot whip this shot. He's not gonna miss it. He's gonna bring in the pain. He's gonna bring in the hurt. Last bullet remaining. And Masters gonna be the one to go in for a clutch. A little bit too close for comfort there, but it's alright. 10-9. True Rippers, they're still in the running. Masters is gonna be able to pick up the operator as well, so no harm, no foul. They have all of the guns. They pretty much saved up this round beautifully. But could it have been a lot more better?
Yes.
For sure. Because one tap got right after the ultimate. I understand why he didn't want to go in for a push. He was afraid that someone didn't get caught by it, but he needed to take a risk. The fact that he didn't, he pretty much wasted an ultimate there. It got absolutely no value.
I mean, yeah, and that's true. Not only did that ultimate not get any value, but it forced True Rippers to go for another ult. They already had the Cosmic Divide, but they had to go for the Killjoy lockdown as well. So 3 ults were used, when in reality it should have been far less. And Paradox, well, he does get the kill onto Binks. But these two players, they're just trading it left, right, and center. Even in the previous round, these were the first 2 casualties. And it repeats as Relic is holding the angle towards Catwalk. Now, does he spot Strix? He has spotted him, and he does get the refrag. So plenty of refrags happening so far. Master's here, and he gets a kill with he gets a double with a Swarm Grenade, leaving Trist all alone in this 1 versus 3. He has the lockdown, but against the Hunter's Fury, I don't think he'll be able to pull this clutch off.
Destroyed.
No one does that. Like, come on. Like, that is not how you're supposed to break this one. Okay, tell me honestly, who in their right minds places 2 nano swarms near the door?
I don't know. There's so much that's happening. I have no idea. The rounds that we have witnessed, the way what is happening, I genuinely half the time am stunned with what I'm seeing. Not as stunned as the steaming pizza, but rather still stunned. The good thing for True Rippers, I guess, and all their fans is that, well, they have equalized the score. It wasn't a 9-9, but it is now a 10-10. And yet again, T69 are getting forced down this rabbit hole of, you know, not having enough money. I mean, this is going to be their final full buy aggressive. After this, if they lose this round, then they're going to be down onto peanuts. So they have to make sure they win this round. Otherwise, True Rippers can quite honestly get match point at the very least.
It's just the last couple of rounds that they need. True Rippers, they're on the driver's seat now. They have all of the money in the entire world. They can still go in for buys when they need to. Not all of the money, but you know, middle class family. So it can work out.
Yeah.
10 and 10. You can already see that True Rippers are playing it a lot more defensively, and I like the fact that Paradox is also taking a backseat out of it all. He doesn't need to go in for a push. He's just gonna need to play it all slow and steady. Relic though, maybe he's gonna be the one to take a little bit more initiative, but here comes Biggs, and once again he gets shut down. Relic from the side is gonna be able to take down another. And oh my god, Paradox, you gotta let Biggs go for one time in your life. He's not gonna be able to do much. Wonder gets taken down by the concussive blast.
Beautiful.
And one tap got on a breach, man. I don't know, this guy's just incredible to watch every single time.
That's the one. I think I've mentioned this before in some other cast I had previously, maybe in season 3 of the Gauntlet. But the best breach players of South Asia is something that we don't talk about often. Like the best, and there are so many good breach players and great breach players, as a matter of fact. And that's the thing. We talk about the Jets, we talk about Sentinels and all that, and even like the best Astras and Vipers. But the breach players, man, can they be deadly? I mean, this was a great example of that. As right now, while the side of True Rippers, they have waited for the lockdown to get over, but they are waiting to kill Ezzy, and Ezzy, well, he tries to retreat, but it won't be successful. Trist, all by himself on A main. They have to check all the angles. Paradox is holding it.
They need to go faster.
They are starting defuse. Why is he pushing with an operator? Well, Master, he does get the refrag, and they will be getting the round. But with the operator, you really couldn't hand it over to Killjoy. Master couldn't be the one doing that.
Nah, the thing is, he wanted to show the cute hat that he was wearing, but Triss was like, nah, not happening today, bro. But Paradox is like, but I look cute. It's just not gonna happen for them. Team T69, they're in a better spot. But I don't know. They have enough to go in for another buy, but do they want to risk it?
And is going for the semi-buy a better option than going all in right now? That is another question that you have to consider, and that all of us have to consider, looking at T69 and the economy right now. Like, no matter what it is, it's like being stuck between, you know, a rock in a hard place and iron. Like, all 3 of the options are bad. Either you go for a semi-buy, not that good. Either you go for a full buy, it's very risky. Or you go for an eco, that's just a guaranteed loss in this round. So it's being stuck between a rock, hard place, and iron. I would know one of those 2 things. One of those 3 things. But regardless, right now we have had another small pause. But the teams, a lot of discussion has to happen from these players. They've got to make sure that T69 looks like an unfortunate disconnection for Ezzy. So they will be, you know, talking over True Rippers as well. They know they can't give this away. They know how much they have worked hard. I mean, they went from 7-5 to 9-5 to now 11-10, and they know that in this BO3, not only do they have a chance of winning the BO3, but more importantly, and I think this is a part that gets often overlooked, they have a chance to not give a single map win to Team T69. That is always a big factor. We always talk about the team that wins these BO3s in the gauntlet, but the fact that if their opponents can snatch that one round win, well, seeing how the previous seasons have gone, that very 1 point can matter a lot.
I don't think they're gonna be able to get this 1 point at this stage.
Mm-hmm.
You can already see they're going in for a full-on force. They're investing everything into this round. And I understand it's a 10-11 scoreline, but you should be playing it a lot more safe. Just as you stated, it would be better to just go in for a semi-buy. There's a possibility of you winning out on the round. It's not going to be 0. But to invest everything right here and right now, look at the credit margin. 4 of their players are now down to 100 credits. I don't believe there is a big enough loss streak bonus for them as well here, if I recall. I think that you can correct me on this. I don't think there is any loss streak bonus for them. They're running on a 2 loss streak, so that's what?
So that's 1800.
Okay,
No,
no,
no, no.
1900 is base.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, 1900 is
1900
base.
is
and then
base.
you get an extra
900
900 per round. No, you
Oh,
get
yeah,
an extra
900
900 per round. So it's so 1900 base plus 1800. That's 3700. So I mean, it's enough for like a rifle at the very least, an armor, and a bit of it. I mean, it's very dicey. It's genuinely extremely dicey right now. So I would, yeah, it's a very difficult topic, and it's a topic that T69 themselves, they have to go over, because it's not only this round that you're thinking about, it's the next round quite certainly. I mean, if you're going for a full-on force buy, then yeah, it's this round you're thinking about, plain and simple. But it's not only the credit economy aggressive, it's another economy that we have to highlight, is the ult economy. T69, they don't have a single ultimate on board. True Rippers, okay, they have 3, but I'm not going to talk about True Rippers just now. I'm talking about without a single ult on board, having half armor, a couple of the members having, a couple of the members having half armor, or like pistols, upgraded pistols, specters, stuff like that. It's a very clouded judgment to make as to what exactly will happen, because ultimates can genuinely secure you rounds. We have seen plenty of ultimates working. I know you weren't there on Haven Aggressive, but honestly, One Tap God and his Rolling Thunder, the amount, I think both the times he used that Rolling Thunder, the rounds went in favor of his team, when in reality they really shouldn't have. He made 1v2 post-round clutches using that Rolling Thunder. So it is a pretty influential bit of utility. And I'm talking, I mean, obviously, there is no breach on the side of T69, but I'm talking ultimates in general. They are pretty influential. They are the ults after all. So T69, without having a single ult on board, going all in this round, extremely risky. They need to pull something entirely else out of the bag, something no one is expecting, and then equalize the score 11-11.
Are they going to be able to do it, though? Currently, with the composition that they're running, but in a way, I think I'm going to be able to give them an opportunity to showcase to us exactly what they really can do. You got to remember something here, that this is a very, very long pause. And because of the pause coming through, you know for a fact that you don't really have any form of momentum anymore on True Rippers. They won out on, what, 2 rounds consecutively? And at that stage, does it really even matter? No. So,
Placing swarm grenade.
now that they don't have that in their arsenal anymore, they should be quite happy, but I do believe Ezzy possibly cannot reconnect. And if they lose out on one of their key important players, primarily being their Astra,
On attack.
and on a 10-11 scoreline, mind you.
I mean, yeah, to be fair, even on defense, I mean, it wouldn't have mattered. Any player getting disconnected is bad enough. But, I mean, if that's the case, then that is really, really, really unfortunate for the side of T69 right now. Hopefully, he can reconnect back. But how it's functioning, we can see anything happening. But as of now, for T69, for all the fans, hopefully Ezzy reconnects. If not, if they use up all of their allocated time and it doesn't reconnect, again, then we'll have to see what happens. I mean, then it's just all guns blazing, I guess. You just play anything. Then it's quite literally going to be being, stuck between a rock and a hard place and iron, because everyone on iron just goes guns blazing. I'm not saying don't, T69, don't do that. That's never works out, trust me. But they have to try something new out of the bag. But as of now, hopefully SE reconnects in the little time that T69 have for this timeout. Meanwhile, True Rippers, we haven't talked about them aggressive. We talked about T69, their economy, everything. And True Rippers, I mean, there's not a lot to talk about because just they are in a very comfortable position. Credit economy wise, they have a lot in the bank. They have that safety net with them. So they aren't worried about, oh, if we lose this round, we'll have to eco and stuff. No, that's not the case. If they lose this round, next round they can full buy yet again. They are not worried too much about the alt economy as well. They've got the Hunter's Fury, the Lockdown. I mean, Paradox, even though he has the Operator, he's got the Blade Storm as well, if you would like to. And let's see what all of that can do as the round has resumed. The match has resumed, and we are commencing off with the next round. And we are seeing the Owl Drone go off. And Paradox is speaking as well. Now, I don't think he knows about Trist. And he's holding a very wide angle.
This is beautiful. No!
Oh, Trist, his location is known. He still gets the kill. Paradox and his AWP is gone. Cross is looking for the refrag. However, Team D69, they are looking very strong with only a 4-man roster on board.
If they get this will be a miracle and a half, but one tap God not's gonna be giving that fight up anytime soon. He knows what angle he needs to go for. He knows what he needs to do here to bring it all back. It is a 3 versus 3 situation on the cards once again. Two ultimates are very much present, and I like the fact that Master's playing really far back inside of the side. He has almost nothing to worry about. He can pop both of his nano swarms just from one small sound cue. That's all that he needed. But now, Trist, he's wiser than before. He knows exactly what kind of shenanigans that we were going for. But Strix! Beautiful shot onto the players trying to shift away from towards the side of heaven. And with that kill,
Spike planted.
they have it all in the bag. It's a 2 versus 3.
Right now, but at the same time, the lockdown has been initiated, and T69, they don't have anything to destroy it, so they have to evacuate or try and destroy it. Lockdown is going off. Wonder pushes in, and we may just see detains happening. No detains so far. Both the attackers back into aiming right now. The spike is going to go, and that's a beautiful headshot from Trist. Now it's going to be 1 versus 1. KJ versus KJ. Master's right there. He's holding the angle. Trist just counter peeking. There goes caught as well, and that's a wide peak from Trist. Oh my god, the sheer pressure right there on these two individual players. I mean, very vulnerable position and a great post plant from T69. Even though they had to weather the storm a lot, they suffered so much. There was the Hunter's Fury, there was the Killjoy lockdown. People were converging on them, but they still won regardless. Yet, the thing is aggressive. This round as well, it's not a fairy tale. They still only have 4 members, and Ezzy has the spike. Okay, the spike has been automatically dropped, but the buy as well on T69, it's not looking strong.
In T69 on their buys, they're looking quite good, honestly speaking. They're still gonna be able to do a lot, but Paradox.
Is he going for a free
Don't
kill?
tell me. Don't tell me.
I hit that. Right.
Of course he does it. Like,
I guess
are
it's
you-
to confuse the enemies, to make them think he's in the spawn. Meanwhile, he gets a double right here on mid. That,
This
if
guy
that was
has
a
a
strategy,
Galaxy
it
brain.
would. Dude, what? He drops the spike. That's a 4K Paradox for the ace. Bings. Oh, he just missed those shots, and it's going to be a flawless. Paradox with the 4K. Bings.
Match point.
Yeah, this was a round. This was a round aggressive. Yes. Let's look at the
This was a
highlight
round.
reel.
Let's just call it a round, and we're not even gonna explain anything anymore. It was a round.
Beautiful shot right there. But then Bings, what just happened? Unfortunate.
He was in a state of shock.
I mean, everyone would be after that round.
So Paradox basically spotted out 2 players on mid. He didn't give any damns. He ran all the way over onto A main, went to spawn, killed the AFK, ran back, killed 1 person, immediately updrafted up and then killed 2 more, killed his 4th, and then he was hunting for his ace and then missed his shots. While Relic just casually flicked his mouse and 1-tapped him. This entire round was a roller coaster of emotions that I did not even expect to happen. Who expects anything like this?
you can't. I don't think it's physically capable for a human to even imagine this kind of stuff happening. You know, we imagine the craziest things. You can't imagine this. You can't imagine something like this happening. But okay, that was the round. Now overtime is still a possibility. As funny or like as weird as whatever is happening is, we are still on the final round of regulation. T69 can push into overtime, buying a little more time for them, but they have to win this round. And True Rippers, with how they're playing, I mean, what is Paradox doing? What is True Rippers doing? They've lost 2 of their members. Okay, they get 1 in return. And now Relic is going insane. He does pick up 2. Now it is a 2 versus 2 scenario. And everything is happening on mid. Why are True Rippers pushing into this? There's no need to be this aggressive. However, they opt for it, and now B-side control has been taken by T69.
They're just going in for it. And in a way, the flag watcher was always there, but the fact that Team T69 now have this level of control, they can easily push their way down over on towards the side if they want to. No ultimates to be had, and no way for them to break out this lockdown. That's gonna waste a good amount of time, but that's also gonna allow Crosshair's recon bolt to come back. Now that they have this under their bag, they should be able to go in for a fight and take a swing for themselves. But no, the position's of prime interest. He wanted to go in for a kill on towards the face of Crosshair, but that's not gonna work. Last player already remaining. They know exactly where he is. Recon bolt's gonna go through. Water's gonna be able to break that 8 bullets in a dream. It's just not gonna happen. And True Rippers, they take it all away. Yes, it was a very sad ending with Ezzy going in for a disconnect, but there's not much that you can do here. 11 and 13 and True Rippers. They're going to be able to take this entire set on a 2-0 scoreline.
Right. Right. Okay. I still can't make sense of anything we have just witnessed aggressive. I can't make sense of anything we have seen. What? How? Why? These are questions that are forever going to be embedded in my mind and the minds of everyone. True Rippers, on the other hand, I don't really think they care too much. I mean, yeah, they have very happy faces right now. They know it was a good win. The first win, the first match of Season 4, the first win of Season 4. So, congratulations to True Rippers. Absolutely. I mean, I would say looking at Haven, very deserving win. Looking at Ascent, I have no clue what I've just witnessed. But other than that, yeah, great stuff. True Rippers, good performance. For the side of T69, a lot was happening. Issues were there, not just the disconnect, obviously, of Ezzy, communication issues and stuff. Granted, but yeah, the benefit of the doubt can be given. It was their first match, the first broadcasted match in front of thousands of viewers. So a couple of issues that they had to get through. Hopefully, the next time we see them, they can get back to their old glory rapidly and very quickly.
Yeah, they should be able to get back in groove really soon, but in a way, we did see the new Team T69 perform. We're going to be able to see that one more time as we do head on down over towards the match highlights. And CCV, I'm going to be giving you a small question right off the get-go first.
Right.
What do you think really was the troublesome factor of Team T69? I don't think communication was the biggest fault here. It feels as though they're communicating, but their strat book, it's not that in-depth at all. It feels like they have 3 strategies, and if those 3 strategies don't work, they just start winging it.
Yeah, I think Haven was a far bigger aspect when it comes to communication problems. Haven, it was far more noticeable. Right now, okay, a bit can be seen, but other than that, yeah, strat-wise as well. I mean, my major focus was on True Rippers, I'm not gonna lie, with how they were taking this. I mean, Paradox was all over the map. Yeah, I did
Paradox
like the times.
is like, monkey see monkey, do I push?
He was Dora the Explorer, quite literally. He went everywhere, anywhere, and he just had the support of one tap god with his utility, even if it worked or not. But other than that, for the side of Team T69, yeah, they have to work on their strategies. A bit of it can be given that, okay, if you're a newly formed team and if you have new members, you can't really have, you can explain your strategy to someone. Everyone does that. Even in ranked games, you can explain. But on a level such as this, on very high tier of Valorant, not just explaining strategies, but also the fact that there's a difference between I know what the strategy is and experience in playing the strategy. I think that is something that is going to take more time. And that's something that True Rippers have as a roster right now, and something that T69 are lacking at the moment.
It's a tough one for them to bring it all back for themselves, but in a way, True Rippers, they gave us an understanding of why they are known to be one of the better teams and probably one of the best teams in the entirety of the tier 2 scene.
Right.
the tier 2 scene is riddled with incredible squads, but every single time we see True Rippers, we see them evolving, we see them changing, and we see them just becoming a better squad. But today, though, I think that Paradox, he was in one of his moods. Like, honestly, no, he never does this. He normally never. Okay, he doesn't always do this. Let's say he does
Yeah.
this often, but not never. He's Paradox for a reason. He's always a coin flip. But what is not a coin flip is his aim. Even though he was pretty much bum rushing into the faces of his opposition, he was still able to perform, and his teammates were able to facilitate him in the process. And when you have such an explosive jet player, it's hard for players like Strix, who are known to be really good when it comes down to slow, methodical play, to try and counteract such a movement or counteract such levels of aggression. And I do believe that Team T69, they just got completely off guard. Look at Paradox. He was W-ing his way over to kill the AFK, and then just came back and pretty much nearly got an ace for himself.
This highlight, that's okay. It's going to show it. Okay, never mind. But yeah, I mean, not just Paradox versus Strix. I feel like Paradox versus Binks was a far more like highlighted engagement ratio that we had seen, that we did see, because the amount of times Paradox killed Binks was a little too high, especially as the opening engagement. I think they were like 3-4 rounds, or like 3-4 times where Paradox got rid of Binks. Strix was also there. I mean, he had a great performance individually, but yeah, Paradox just on another level. Being the only duelist, he did live up to the mark, both on Haven and on Ascent. Right now, we are seeing, we were just seeing everything and looking at the scoreboard as well. I mean, yeah, both the Jets, insane performances, 22 for Paradox, 24 for Strix. Dead equal performances, in my opinion. Not a lot of difference, except for, well, quite obviously their play styles. I mean, if you're looking at this from a numbers perspective, yeah, I can see dead equal. But if you're looking at this from how they played, big difference.
Yeah, it's a smart way to do it. Paradox with 22 kills, Masters with 23, One Tap with 15, Crosser with 16, and Relic with 14. All across the board, every single one of these players performed. But when you look at towards Team T69, 24 for Strix, 19 for Triss, 20 for Binks, Wonder with 13, and Ezzy with 10. It wasn't that level of performance coming out from them. And you could see the problem starting to arise. Yes, Binks was able to perform. Yes, he was able to get kills. But did he get a lot of the kills purely based upon his utility? That wasn't the case, was it? He normally threw out his utility, got a little bit of damage, maybe flushed him out of a corner, but he had to rely on his aim completely. But looking at True Rippers, that was the completely other case. We saw how many different types of utility kills from players like Master, players like One Tap God, Crosshair, constantly getting kill after kill after kill with all of their utility, shock darts raining in, aftershocks being hit. They just knew what they needed to do. And that's the sad part of this story in general. That Team T69, they are a team that are mechanically gifted, but when it comes down to their strats and their utility usage, they still need to try and work on it a little bit more. But granted, they're still a brand new roster, they're trying to figure everything out. So the fact that they did lose isn't really the surprising factor, but what did surprise me of the way that they lost. We didn't expect them to just instantly be able to take on a team like True Rippers and take them over to a 13-11 scoreline or 13-7 scoreline. It's a hard fight, but they're evolving, they're learning, and I'm really hoping we're going to be seeing a completely new Team T69 right at the end of the group stages, with them possibly heading on down over to playoffs.
I mean, you've taken words out of my mouth right there, Grace. That was going to be my next question, propped up to you. Is that, do you think their curve, their learning curve, is going to be quick enough or rapid enough that they
Be
have enough
exponential.
time to get into the playoffs and to take one of the spots, one of the 4 spots in Group A? Or is it going to be a different case? But right now, looking at the maps as well, yeah, Haven 13-7 win, far closer Ascent, but True Rippers won that regardless. I mean, had it not been for the disconnect, I honestly think we could have seen overtime, and from that point forward, anything could have happened. But right now, great set of maps. Yeah.
Yeah. We are going to be heading on down over towards the group standings to see exactly how the teams have slotted on in, how they're going to be looking. We did have the game at 4 p.m., which was a pretty interesting one in general on my own accord. Team Valor, they're going to be the ones to take it on a 2-1 scoreline for themselves, mind you, while True Rippers, they took a 2-0. So they're going to be heading on down over to the number 1 position, Team Valorant second. FS Esports, who Team Valorant are facing off against, did take 1 map, so they take the 1 point. And Team T69, sadly, the first game of this entire tournament for them was a loss. They didn't get a single point. If they did get 1 map, I would say that, yeah, it's a silver lining for you. They're still going to be in the running. But that's the thing. In the Gauntlet, if you lose 1 game without even getting a single point, yeah, you're going to be sweating. Because now you're no longer fighting for the number 1 spot. You're fighting for the number 3 and number 4.
Mm-hmm. It's a big ask. It's a big ask. Yeah, the Gauntlet can just. I mean, it is the Gauntlet after all. We have seen 3 seasons so far. Teams eliminated, being there, winning, and everything happens. And I mean, we haven't even looked at Group B. Today was just Group A. Group B is going to be. I mean, the 2 groups
Emotional
are very
roller coaster.
different. Yeah, the 2 groups are very different in how they're going to pan out, in my opinion. I mean, it's going to be close fights all over, but like the teams and stuff, it's very, very interesting. You know, we can have talk about Group A and Group B the day we have like both the groups matches together. But for now, these 2 Group A matches, they did not disappoint. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I did watch a bit of Valor versus FS. It was a very interesting match, especially right there at the end of Split and map number 3. It got extremely close. However, I have to say, I mean, Aggressive, you casted both of them. Do you think, like, I would agree, just because of what happened, this match was far more entertaining. Like, you can't predict this is gonna happen. The rounds that we witnessed, the whiffs, the plays, the flicks, the kills, everything just, you can't write that up. No, I'm sorry, you just can't.
Yeah, none of this was scripted. It just happened in front of our screens. And hey, I will say that I had a little bit more fun casting this one because of the unpredictability. As an analyst, you can normally call out what's going to happen in a game, but in this match, I had no goddamn idea. I was just surprised that they're even getting kills in most of these different scenarios, but it was a good one regardless. It was a fun one indeed, but for now, that's going to be all that we have for you for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for stopping by, and if you're stopping by here, make sure to check out the links down below in the description. Check out Crucial, check out 656 if you want to get yourself a jersey. Sadly, we're not going to be wearing it today. We're going to be wearing it tomorrow. Don't really worry about that. But speaking of tomorrow, we're going to have a lot more matches then for you as well. Don't miss out on any of that. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and also hit that notification bell to get notified when we do go live. But for now, good night, everyone, and we're going to be seeing you tomorrow with a lot more action from the LG Ultragear Tec Gauntlet Season 4, powered by Crucial and our apparel partners, and none other than 656. Good night, and happy gaming, everyone.
Bye.